welcome to another episode of Critical Critique. We are back again this week, back again to have some fun. We're going back to basics, back to basics, Ellie, back to the good old favorite topic of ours, the good old Isekai wars.
Yay! I mean, it's where we started, right?
It's our bread and butter, the good old
Our
Isekai
origin
wars.
story.
But you know, we've got some other things in the pipeline. You know, we've got some stuff to kind of talk about as well. You know, both this week and next week. You know, we've got a bunch of videos lined up. We're always open to suggestions, though. We can always change the schedule, right? But we've got an internal schedule. Very important. Something is rising, and it isn't my opinion on the Shield Hero. Good old Samu.
Yes, has the anime still ongoing, or isn't the season already over?
The anime, the season ended. Yeah, I wasn't that impressed with it. So the Shield Hero has been going a bit down the shitter, as people have been saying before. It's definitely not great. But yeah, we've got some fun stuff to talk about. So today it's going to be about Isekai. Is a problem of the anime industry.
Yeah. Quick note that this video is of how long ago? A year old, or maybe was it longer?
A year old. All right. And this is one from Ali's recommend. Ali found this one. I take no responsibility.
Yeah.
I take no responsibility if this is a good video or not. It's all Ali's fault.
For the past 9 years.
But yeah. So I guess we should just jump right into it. I don't really have much else to kind of say.
Transitioning.
Yeah.
The stroke. How many years? 5 years or longer.
5 years, 6 years.
The world, people in the world has never been the same again.
Yeah, everything changed when the Isekai Nation attacked.
That's how they actually.
Yes, I must take responsibility as the father. Apparently, I'm the dad, and you're the. I'm beating my wife out.
Oh no!
Domestic violence on YouTube is not good.
I'm in charge of the sexual violence, you know, as
all right.
As the healer, right? As the
Ellie's the trad wife. All right. Well, I guess there's only one thing left to do before we get started. It's the good old conditioning. Got to get that cracking. Otherwise, look, Samu can't get in the mood if he doesn't get his condition. Ooh-wee. All right. Let's jump right into it.
Top of the food chain, having the largest quantity of shows produced on a season.
Back?
Oh wow! Yeah, Jesus, it jumped around quite a bit there. Thanks, watch together. Right.
For the past 9 years or so, Isekai has sat on the top of the food chain, having the largest quantity of shows produced on a seasonal basis. Just look at this winter's season. Granted, there is an Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, and Jujutsu Kaisen movie coming as well, but that's besides the point. There are so many shows that seem to have.
Well, we've done like the experiment multiple times where we've gone onto the anime list and it's like what 5%, 6%, you know, like
it's not a lot. Always, unless he's going to count like the amount of isekais is the largest represented genre out of all of them. Like if there's one mecha every season, there are 2 isekais, or if there's one romance, one shonen fighting, one mecha.
He's talking about ratios or some shit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we've kind of done that point to death where people really overstate how many isekais are coming out in terms of anime. It's not really as much as people think it is.
It's also not like it's that much of a problem, right? Because it isn't that an isekai will take away another anime.
Yeah,
not really.
It's a common. It reminds me of Smash Brothers. If you remember Smash Brothers, when it's another sword fighter or whatever, you know, like, or it's a Fire Emblem character. They took the slot, Ellie. They took the slot.
And then suddenly slots were the biggest deal ever, and then Sakurai said Echo Fighters. And then everybody was, no, we want more clones, more Echo Fighters.
Yeah, more clones. Yeah.
Give me an Echo Fighter of every single character, please, Sakurai. We've changed our mind.
Yeah, please. I think it's ironic that like Isekai is apparently so much of a problem, right? But I'm not watching a single Isekai this season. Like, it's not hard to avoid the isekais, you know. You could just not watch, you know, like just watch other things, right? I mean, we talk about what we're watching every week, and we will be today as well, right? So it's like, you know, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to watch, you know. But yeah, so people overstate to quite an insane degree how many isekais are coming out and how big of a quote unquote problem it is. And I have a sneaky suspicion this video
be watching an isekai this season, actually. So
yeah, but I mean, it's like what one versus how many other shows you you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you know, the wrong way to use healing magic is an isekai.
Yeah, but it's like, but the main point though, right, is that there's this over dramatization of the problem, right? And I have a feeling this video is going to probably just fall into those same traps that we've covered before. But hey, let's see. We're only like 17 seconds in. Let's give the man a chance, right? Let's give the man a go.
The same reproduced plot of, oh, my life is so lame. I wish I could be transported to another world and do cool things. And then bam, MC transport to another world and does cool things. This storyline trend.
They always use the popular ones.
And ReZero
emphasizes their point, right?
Yeah, because all right, now so this is going into into controversial territory.
Oh no, Ellie's got a hot take. Everyone get down.
This is just like everybody using Dragon Maid for the same localization drama again.
It kind of is. It actually kind of is. And I mean, I've talked about it before. I mean, I haven't clipped it out or anything, and I probably should since we talk. I should start clipping out like sections that we keep repeating over and over again, so we don't have to keep repeating them. We could just say, "Go watch the clip."
Nah,
right?
we won't. We will just speak about it even more.
No, Ellie, we got to get more views. We got to get more get people to watch the videos.
No,
we got to get people to watch the videos. Go on.
Cut this out. Cut this out.
Yeah. So. But to kind of talk about it, right, I don't actually disagree with you because it is the same kind of problem where people latch on to certain examples. But the thing with this one, right, he's not actually using, like, this is more a case, I think, of the footage problem that you talk about a lot, where people are just using footage, trying to find footage that's relevant to what they're talking about. Because I haven't watched Konosuba yet, right, but I don't think Konosuba has, like, what's his name, Kazuma or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's, like, molding about his life being shit and he wants to go to a fantasy world and then he gets hit by, I know he gets hit by like a tractor or something, or like he has a heart attack or he pisses himself because he's a tractor
all true,
or something.
Kinda, yeah,
it's something like that happens, right? So I don't like, the issue is this guy has like an idea of what an isekai is in his head and he's just going off that. Like, I don't know if this man's actually watched Konosuba or ReZero, right?
Yeah.
Because if he thinks that all isekai are just like the same kind of plot, right? Then that indicates to me that he hasn't actually watched any of these shows. He's just going off what
the same
consensus is.
Shonen is all the same in that same regard, right? The starting point of a lot of battle shonen is the same. Kid gets parents killed, die, disappeared, whatever. Then gets super special power, something. Has to set out to defeat the 8, 4, 6, 3 whatevers to gather the thing and defeat the ultimate evil that's behind it all. And unless it's something like Naruto and it will go or Bleach, then it will just be increasingly amount of evilness and strongness that the character must go through.
Yeah. So it's just more of this overgeneralization, which is an issue when you're trying to be like, oh, this is bad, right? This is bad. It's super bad that all these isekais are just the same thing over and over again. And it's like,
You know,
I mean,
the cute girls doing cute things was a plague upon the industry before
yeah, it's all the
Isekai.
same. Yeah,
And
they're
it
all
was
the
also
same.
just 4 or 3 girls chatting in a club room. And, you know,
Yeah.
whether it was the motorcycle club or the
The cards club,
the computer club in
PC club,
Yushki,
yeah.
in K-On,
Yeah.
of course, and the tea ceremony in Yuri Yuri. Yeah.
Yeah. Mushroom mentions Natalie. She apparently did a video where she went through all of the isekai from a certain period of time to see if they were in fact all the same. I haven't watched that video of hers yet, but I reckon that would probably be a good one to watch. Because I mean, I'll shill for Natalie. She's good. She makes good content. So let's continue.
And has been getting kicks like a dead horse ever since Sword Art Online popularized it. I mean, sure, it's kind of good and has a
Oh, he says that Sword Art Online is kind of good. Oh no, double oh no.
Oh boy.
dedicated fan base. So I can just imagine the writers taking notes after they all watch SAO.
So again, anime only. I mean, this video is like the greatest hits, right?
Yeah.
We're not even a minute in, and he's just spitting out the greatest hits, right?
Although it kind of it's kind of odd, right? Because he says black screen. That's fun to watch. He kind of says that
I can rectify that. Hang on. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh, better.
There we go.
That authors took note of this, but he's missing the point. It's not that authors wanted to be adapted. Not that authors wanted planned by watching Sword Art Online or reading Sword Art Online, that they planned for an isekai boom to follow 3 years later. He has to look at the real culprits. Corporate.
Yeah.
Corporate is to blame for isekai. Never forget that Kadokawa once mandated that there will be at least one isekai each season. And
and this is just more of this kind of ignorance, right?
Yeah,
this,
and
this
you
sort
know,
of not
I
knowing.
recently learned that Kadokawa is also parent company of FromSoft of Souls of Souls fame. So if you ever liked a Souls like game, Kadokawa owns your soul also. So
Kadokawa has their fingers in everything, right?
It's because
multimedia conglomerate.
Yeah, I should have known, right? Because there's a funny, there's an Elden Ring manga, right? Have you seen pages or?
I haven't seen it. No.
There's a comedy Elden Ring manga being published, and the joke is that the main character, the Tarnished, is behaving like a player, so. He's nude from the start and finds random armor pieces, and Melena, your finger maiden, is very distressed at having to guide a guy who is nude all the time and only recently found a helm.
Sounds fun.
But that's explanation of the manga. The point is there is a manga. And how you get into a manga? You get published. Who's your publisher? How do you get published?
Who's your publisher?
Kadokawa.
Yeah. But to get back to the Mr. Video Man, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think a big problem of this is just speaking from ignorance, right? Like, a lot of people just don't know, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and be like a fucking smug ivory tower motherfucker, right? I'm not Econ, right? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this disgusting pleb doesn't know about Kadokawa and he doesn't know about he's such a no. Like, look, the great thing about being ignorant is that you can learn, right? That's the great thing about being ignorant, right? Is you're able to actually fucking learn things, right? So I'm not going to be too hard on the fact that this random guy on the internet just doesn't know these things, but I feel like I wish that people would just fucking look into things. You know, just a little bit, like just to, like, hey, where does my anime come from? You know, where do, like, because you know, there's this idea, I've mentioned it on Twitter before, that there's so many people that just think anime is this mystical thing that gets shit out of Japan by like Japanese wizards, right? They cast like magic spells or whatever, and suddenly you get anime, right? It's this magical, mystical thing that the Japanese are able to create, right? And it's fucking crazy. I hate I hate it because they don't stop and consider, man, maybe there's like a really interesting like multimedia, like, what is the term Joe used for it? It's like media mix, right? Like this whole platform media mix type stuff, right? Like there's this entire pipeline that's really interesting and would be really good to talk about, right? But people just don't want to go past the surface level. They just see the anime. They don't, like, this guy mentioned authors, right? Or he mentioned like writers or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, does he even know that like the authors of these light novels and mangas and stuff, does he even think they exist? Right? Like, do they actually?
He does,
like...
because I do think he's going to mention light novels at some point.
Oh, okay.
That's
well,
at least one step beyond just.
He's at least one step ahead of most. Yeah, he's at least one step ahead of most, right? Like, but that's the problem, right? That I've highlighted is that people just don't know, and what annoys me more about them not knowing is they don't want to know. Right?
Well, they think
so when
know.
They're like,
that's
no,
always the problem.
Yeah, it's two things, right? It's they think they know, and then they don't want to actually know, right? Those two are the problem. Like, I don't care if you're you just don't know, right? Because we can teach you. We're here to help, right? It's a part of why the show exists, right? But if you are fucking just being an idiot, right? Yeah, it becomes quite a problem. But anyway, let's keep going. Oh man, this first minute is so dense. Like, Jesus, goddamn.
Part really seemed to captivate the audience. Maybe we need to get in on this. Jokes aside, there are isekais that I do like. For instance, Konosuba is one of my all-time favorites, which the show went for a more satirical approach to the genre. It's shows that try to revolutionize the isekai norm that, in my opinion, are the ones that stick around. But when you've got garbage like this coming out every season...
Wait a minute. Is the World Ends With You an isekai?
Well, even if it is an isekai, it wouldn't follow the lineage of isekai, right?
No, because I don't know, and I haven't played the games. I don't know anything about it. I thought it was like, I didn't think it was an isekai. I've never heard anyone say it's an isekai. I don't know what
I think he's going by technicality, but then
maybe
being
I don't know.
Technically doesn't mean that actually.
Someone in the chat, because I'm ignorant about The World Ends With You. Is The World Ends With You an isekai? Can someone confirm? See what I mean? If I don't know, it's good to ask, right? Just look into it, right? Does the afterlife count as an isekai? I don't know. I mean,
no, because most of the time, religious and afterlife are very connected to the earth, right? The heavens, the earth, and below, and the hell.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like, I mean, it's like another plane of existence.
Yeah, so it's
if
like you remove the earth from existence in that scenario, then heaven collapses and hell rises up at the same time, and everything it becomes a mess. In the religious cosmology, earth is a needed place. If you remove then Earth, then heaven and hell wouldn't exist as they are either. In religious cosmology, in that sense. So no, the afterlife isn't a isekai because the heaven and the hell depend on the Earth to exist.
So our boy 50 then confirms that yes, The World Ends With You is not in fact an isekai.
All right.
All right. Well, let's keep going.
something needs to change. So today, let's take a look at why Isekai is a subgenre waiting to die out, and what could be the next potential trend in the anime industry for the coming years. So the biggest reason behind
one
why
second again, right? I have to reiterate. He said his year count in the beginning of this video ended at 2021. So that's my assumption that this video is at most 2 years old.
Right. Well, we
So
can
he
look
says
at
already
the
that
power of hindsight.
The isekai is dying out and something is going to replace it.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens then.
Not usually enjoy shows is the amount of overuse that stems from the genre. In the past 2 years, there has been 25 shows released. All that shit.
Wait, in the past 2 years. In the past 2 years, there's been 25 shows, Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
25. That's apparently a lot. How many shows come out a season? How many shows come out a season?
30,
like
12? 30 is a quick guess, right?
Yeah. Mushroom's done some quick. Mushroom's done some quick maps for us in the chat. So 12 a year, 3 a season. It's not actually. This is what I mean, right? This is what I mean when I'm like, they over dramatize the problem, right? Because, yeah, when you are like, oh, wow, there was 25 isekais this year? Like, some people look at that and they go, oh my god, that's such a big nut. But then when you break it down like Moeshroom did, where it's like, it's only 3 a season, dude. Compared to, like, what, 30, 40, like, I don't know, like, the exact amount of anime that comes out a season, because it varies.
30 plus almost.
Yeah, it varies per season. Sometimes there's less, sometimes there's more, right? Like 3 a season's fucking nothing, right? It's absolutely fucking nothing compared to all of the anime that comes out within that season, right? So I hate it when they do this, right? I hate it because I don't think they do it intentionally, but it is very disingenuous, right? It's very disingenuous to push this idea that's just factually wrong.
Wait, 1 second, right? One second. This apparently isn't even in Isekai. His strength was limited by the magical crests which he was born. And Mateus, the most powerful, blah blah blah, become the strongest of them all. As his rebirth, he's discover combat of firstly the world he's born into. So he's already born into this world and just reborn later on.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this one, so I don't know.
No, this is just, you know, if I'm what I'm this half snippet that I'm reading suggests that this is just like the Demon King. What was it again? Where a Demon King went to school or something in a peaceful time.
Yeah, something.
Something. Demon King died, but he had some precaution that he would be reborn 100 years later. So he's reborn 100 years later in his
that's not
same
an
world. So if this is the same thing, right? He's reborn in this world. That just means it's a resurrection, a reborn story thing.
Yeah, there's a different anime on screen for me than there is for you, I'm noticing, because you're probably a bit behind already.
Yeah, what's together latency.
Because latency time zones. Moeshroom's being fair as well in the chat, right? There has been more than 3 recently, but there's also been more anime per season too, because the amount of anime coming out per season has also increased. So it's proportionate, right? Like, it's proportionate to what's going on, right? So yeah, I guess like my main point is, yeah, this is I'm really getting tired of people repeating this falsehood, right? This idea that it's all just it's like 50 million isekais coming out every season, Ellie. I can't handle it. Oh no. But anyhow, let's keep going.
Share the same isekai concept. 25. You heard that right. Just imagine how saturated the light novel industry is right now, since they don't.
You don't have to imagine. You could just fucking look. Right, Ellie? You don't have to imagine. It's right there. Just research it. Like maybe look into it. How many are there, right? Like, Oh, I hate this. I hate it.
Have as big as a paywall to scale as anime. Now, some of those were actually good shows. Many are the same predictable plot that we all know and love. Joking. What remains the problem is not that the
What does he mean by joking?
He doesn't like more same isekai something.
Yeah, but he's like, oh, some of them are good though, but some of them are bad though. Ha ha ha! Just a joke.
Hey, Jim says that I'm right. I'm
Hey,
happy.
there you go. But like, what does he mean? Like, what? Where's the joke, Ali? What's the joke? I don't, I don't understand.
People, Nretsew, you have to not like many isekai, and him saying that he actually likes many isekai is the joke because that couldn't possibly be true.
I guess, I don't know, but anyway, let's keep going.
The isekai concept was a bad idea. The problem lies in the excess quantity of shows in the genre that are being produced, which ends up leading to a lower quality overall in those shows.
Like,
is
the
that
problem
true?
with his... Yeah, but the problem with his thesis is based on a faulty premise, right? Because he's basing his entire thing on the premise that, oh, there's like all of these like 25 isekais a year, and that means that a percentage of them are trash. It's like, yeah, that's the same for everything. What's like, there's like a meme that it's like 30% of anything is trash. Like 30% of movies, 30% of all art, 30% of like all anime, right? Like 30% of given thing is going to be trash, but you have to have that 30% of the trash so you can get the like 70% that's good, right?
Also, this
or
is
like decent.
I heard that before, but it sounds kind of sounds very iffy.
It's like I said, it's a meme. It's like meme.
Yeah, all right, yeah. As a meme, it makes more sense because it's an actual.
I don't think it's like actual like quantifiably provable, but it's like it's like a vibe, right? It's a vibe.
Also, what is good depends on the person, etc. Anyway,
yeah.
The premise that Nretsew next season every single show is an isekai.
Oh shit! Oh no! What are we gonna do?
Does that mean that because all of them are isekai, the quality of all those isekais is lower? That somehow the quality, you have a fixed amount of quality, and you can only distribute it in that many isekai.
Yeah, and quality is like a finite resource that we mine using children in Africa. We have to send the kids into the quality mines. Okay?
The Sakuga mines.
The Sakuga mines.
And
we send the Chinese sweatshop kids into the Sakuga mine.
And then we mine the Sakuga and pour it into the studios.
Yeah. That has to be refined in the sweatshops that have like you know about the Chinese sweatshops that have like the suicide nets. Oh crap! The video's probably gonna get a note.
I already mentioned that I partake in sexual violence, so don't worry.
Yeah, we're gonna get a note, or we're gonna get restricted because I said the word. But you get like it goes into it has to get refined in the buildings where nets are to stop the people from jumping off, right? And then once it's refined into like bars, right, the quality bars, then the bars get sent to the studios, and the studios use them. And once they've used the bar, it's used up. It's used up quality. Can't be used again. We have to mine more. Send more kids to the kids yearn for the mines.
Oh no.
They yearn for the mines.
So this idea, this stupid idea of if there are more isekai coming out, then the quality of all those isekai will drop. Mechanic? We explained the mechanic, but what is his explanation?
Well, I think it ties into like what I was talking about before with the meme about 30%, right? Because let's say like yes, you had a season where it was every single show was an isekai. Like obviously a good amount of them, maybe not 30%, but a good amount of them are going to be shit. But then you'll probably have a good percent of them that's also good, right? Because that's just how it sort of works, you know?
Yeah, but I'm still running into the issue of what if you just don't like
Yeah, what if you just don't like it? Yeah.
This show that I have on screen, right, incorporates some
Yeah.
sci-fi elements, right? They have guns, they have some power armor thingy going on.
Or whatever, yeah.
So if you hate science fiction in this isekai, then this isekai is trash and you don't watch it. So is the quality wasted? Or if somebody really loves sci-fi in isekai and the show doesn't have it, so
Exactly.
it gets real iffy because quality is subjective at some point.
Yeah, it gets really iffy really quick. Yeah, but anyway, let's keep going.
Genre loses its uniqueness when there's 5 or more shows each season, all with a similar plot concept. The only
Why?
Do they though? do they though?
How do they lose quality?
Because the problem is okay, maybe they have the same plot concept, but most isekai tend to drift away from the initial plot. He's got slime on stream right now. I think it's slime because it gets stabbed, right? Like, is slime even remotely recognizable to most isekai now that he's big slave owner man, right? Is that something that other isekai? Are they all the same, right? Are they all just like slime? Now that sure, they might have the same opening premise where he dies and gets reincarnated or whatever.
But spider and slime, right? They start reborn as a monster. What does slime do?
Yeah,
colonize and conquer. What does spider do?
He became colonizer, dude. Yeah.
And what does spider do? Eat.
She bumbles her way into becoming OP.
And Spider, our dear Spider, doesn't have any desire to make a society.
No, she just wants to live. She just wants to live, Valley.
Later she gains some bigger motivations.
Bigger ambitions.
But none of them are creating a city estate. That's not a thing in Spider.
Yeah, so this is what we're getting at, right? It's like, just because they have a similar premise doesn't necessarily detract from the creativity, right? It's like, yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
The thing I believe that can save the genre from dying out is a change in its place in the industry. Writers and producers need to drop the money ball that is isekai and find the next trend to beat to death. A new
Mushroom makes a good point. J.K. Haru and fucking Vending Machine are exactly the same, Ellie. It's the same.
Well, they
same
dispense
story.
fluid, both, right? They take money and dispense refreshment.
Well, one of them accepts fluid, so it's a little different. Okay.
Well, they both take money.
They take money. Yeah, take money in exchange for goods and services.
Yes.
So you could say that they're both pro-capitalist works, right, Ellie? Because they're all about exchanging money for goods and services.
Nretsew, you know enough that just exchanging money isn't capitalism. Capitalism is the investment and ownership of immaterial goods and whatnot.
Yeah, but can you say that J.K. Haru owns her property if her property is being employed by the brothel owner? Real communist theory hours today.
No, that means indeed that she's being exploited.
She's being exploited.
And that is very capitalist to be exploited in such a way.
Yeah.
Kind of. But, it gets iffy when you apply capitalism with investment and whatnot.
You're being told to put your nerd glasses on.
All right, I'll put my glasses down.
You've got to put your nerd glasses down, yeah. No, but this guy's basically just saying the same shit.
Joking.
Really.
Jokes.
Yeah, joking around. But anyway, let's continue.
Trend wouldn't just save the isekai genre from dying out, but also breathe much needed life into the industry. It's getting old, let me tell you. I'm sure I'm not the first person on YouTube to have a video ranting about how overused isekai is. Trends.
No, you're
all fucking wrong. And you're all fucking wrong. Oh man, but anyways,
in any industry are meant to die out. They're there for, I don't know, give or take 3 or 5 years, and then something else becomes the next big thing. But what exactly does that mean for the anime industry? Well, for starters, the isekai trend has been around for about 9 years.
Has it really been around for about 9 years, Ellie?
When When does he say that it started?
Probably Isao. He's probably counting like Isao.
Not
Even though like Isao was not like the start of the boom, right? Like the anime boom. Like it's,
in a sense, SEO isn't the worst place to start because around the same year,
it's not the
Sword Art
worst place
Online
to
also
start.
became the next year after Sword Art Online. Local Horizon came out, and after that, Overlord.
Yeah.
If he says 9 years, then he would say like this video would be made into 21, 22. That would generally align, right?
Maybe, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Isao
you're right.
isn't even an yeah, it isn't an isekai, but like it gets counted more so like because me and Ali we've talked about this, right? Like it gets counted at least in our timelines and stuff because it marks like the point where the light novel to anime pipeline sort of started, right?
I should
Even though it's not
include Harry Potter in this timeline of mine.
maybe you should, yeah. But it kind of yeah, so it's not actually an isekai definitionally, but it is kind of important to the story, right? Like the narrative. It is important to the narrative of the history. So you kind of have to talk about it. But that is a common mistake that people
if you want to do the start of Isekai, that's 2006 with Zero no Tsukaima. Familiar of Zero.
Yeah.
That's 6 years before Sword Art Online. So
yeah. It gets complicated. But anyway, let's continue.
Which is almost double the length you'd see in a pop culture media trend. This most likely makes it one of the longest trends in the industry. There are pros and cons to the longer lifespan of the isekai trend though. A pro would be the fact that it's a relatively safe concept from a producer's standpoint. You know, there's an audience out there that enjoys this stuff, so why stop making it? But this could also be seen as a con as well. If producers see a safe way to make a lot of money, they're less likely to take the risk on shows that tread from the norm, which may be a reason we see so many isekai shows. Basically, for a studio, it could be a nice way to a payday.
Such a boring point.
Yeah.
It's such a nothing.
Oh boy, corporations care about money, Ellie. Who fucking fucking
Also, I've only been since the interest rate story, right? Mostly a US thing, right? But spend a lot that money, doesn't matter because you can loan at 0 interest, so it's free money in that sense.
Is this that fucking MMT shit that Adam keeps talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah. Such an Adam. Adam keeps talking about this modern monetary theory. You'd probably like it. You should look into it. You'd enjoy it. It's basically this like I haven't. I'm gonna butcher the idea completely because I'm not well versed in it and I don't actually. I find it boring as shit. But it's this idea that the government can just print more money and just loan that money out, and there's no like it's how the fuck do you even explain it? It's like it's something about how like the government can just make money and then there's no repercussions for making more money, so they could just make more money and then loan it back and then buy it back, and it creates this infinite loop cycle or some shit. It's fucking complicated, but look, I'm a dumbass, all right. Listen. In the great words of Alex Jones, I'm kind of retarded. Okay.
So
I don't fucking know
to respond to that, right? If you say that this you should use this money to fix all of ills societies, right? All the ills of society, because you can. That only really works when you're a trusted economy to begin with. So this privilege is only really reserved for Japan, the US, and the European Union.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like I said, I can't explain it.
I mean,
so I kind of like
if say for example Bosnia starts this thing of just print as money as much money as you want.
5-0's response is the same response I had, and because like I said, I haven't looked enough into it properly, and even though I've listened to fucking Adam have people on his cast in the background while I'm doing other shit talk about it, it's still because it's it's some big brain economic bullshit, right?
Yeah, but
So I'm
that's
just
the
sitting
same.
here. I'm just sitting here like Alex Jones, just be like, look, I'm kind of retarded. I don't fucking understand it.
I sometimes catch, right, this is the last part of this random economic bit, right? Sometimes I hear an idea of that the treasury of the United States should just print a $1 billion coin,
Or some
and
shit.
that
Yeah.
would just kind of, oh, this coin is worth $1 billion. Therefore, we have now $1 billion more, and that kind of wipes the debt that the U.S. government has on itself.
Or some shit. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Let's get back to Isekai. That's more important than economics.
Yeah.
That's not to say that there aren't studios out there taking risks. Look at MAPPA. MAPPA took the risk of fan backlash when they took in the Attack on Titan for Season 4 when Wit Studio could no longer handle it. In that very same year, they released Jujutsu Kaisen, which would take the shonen fanbase by storm. If you thought that was enough, fuck you, because MAPPA's taken it one step further this year, releasing not only Part 2 of Attack on Titan's final season, but also the anticipated Chainsaw Man and a Jujutsu Kaisen movie. And MAPPA isn't alone in this journey of making quality shows.
So shonen good is what I'm getting from this.
Also,
shonen good.
It's not that you should take risk, it's that you should just burn out every employee that you have.
Yeah, just work your employees to do. Look, they have to go into the quality mines, Ellie. We have to send the kids into the sweatshops. We have to send the kids into the sweatshops, okay? Like, you don't understand.
Also, Samu is right. This isn't taking extra risk, right?
No, it's not, because fucking Jujutsu Kaisen, right, and Chainsaw Man, and Attack on Titan were all massive fucking mangas before they got an anime. There's no risk there. They were already, like, proven, right? Like, they were selling fucking shitloads of copies of manga, right? So you can't sit here and tell me, oh man, Chainsaw Man was such a risk, Ellie. Such a risk. Yeah, the manga that literally everyone was talking about back then, right, as being this next big thing, right? Totally a risk.
Oh,
do you
know the biggest risk ever of Demon Slayer, where
Demon Slayer.
Oh no,
yeah,
that movie was
risk.
such a risk. Half of the population of Japan apparently watched it, or at least tickets enough for the half of the population of Japan have seen the Demon Slayer movie. That was such a risk to make, my dude.
Yeah, it's fucking, and this comes from his level of ignorance, right? Because he doesn't understand the pipeline, right? He's thinking, oh man, they took they made these animes and they took on all these projects, and that was a risk. It was such a big thing. You know, would Fire Punch be a risk? Oh God, maybe Fire, because I've heard some shit. I haven't read it yet, but I've heard some shit about Fire Punch. That might be a risk. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's like these were already like proven, right? And if we're gonna look at this from a corporate point of view, right, buying like licensing to create an anime on something that's already selling gazillion million copies of manga is not a risk. Okay?
No,
I'm sorry.
Original anime, that is the big risk.
Something like Metallic Rogue is an actual risk.
Or
right?
Darling in the Franxx, Kill la Kill, a bunch of Trigger stuff was basically a risk.
Yeah, exactly. So anyhow, let's continue.
Foldable has been dominating the anime movie department with the Demon Slayer movie and the Fates Heaven Field trilogy. That is not to say they lack in shows though. They're releasing the new season of Demon Slayer as we speak.
Funny thing about, I haven't watched the new season of Demon Slayer, nor have I seen the movies, but I've heard that the quality really dropped off in the new season, so I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, you did. Christ, can you imagine an adaptation of Dead Tube? Holy shit.
I am not familiar with the Dead Tube, so...
Dead Tube is great, though. Like, Dead Tube is an amazing... Like, I've been... The newest arc is shaping up to be really good. Maybe we need to do like a manga section. I'll have to make a template.
Recently I've taken up the task to actually read some manga that I started 3 years ago and now are kind of done. So I've been, Don't Tease Me, Nagatoro. I That is almost done, that manga, and I've read kind of through almost all of
Yeah.
it. Oshinoko, I've been reading. If they Not that I don't believe they will go this far, but oh sure, it was sure a risk to actually try to adapt it now from where it's going now. It's getting wild, Nretsew.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
And there are
But,
just other manga that I've been
yeah,
reading.
so yeah, maybe we'll look at making like a manga section along with the anime section. We can talk about stuff that we've been watching. And reading.
It's hard because there's not a lot of weekly manga that I.
Well, yeah, because it all depends on when the chapters come out and the translations come out. So it wouldn't be like an every week kind. I don't think it would be an every week kind of section, but it could be like a every now and then. We'll just kind of bring it up. But yeah, no. So yeah. Dead Tube would be a fucking holy shit. But hey, man, look, Gushing Over Magical Girls got adapted, so at this point, anything can get fucking adapted. Oh man. But anyhow, let's continue.
These two studios are the best known for quality anime. They are not
well, subjective, because I mean,
also
I've talked about how I didn't think the Chainsaw Man adaptation was good. So
also, I've heard if he thinks about was it Attack on Titan now and again.
Attack on Titan's problems are less to do, I think, with like the anime and more of the source material.
No, there was some complaints about some CG bits. Maybe it was early on, or from the previous studio. But anyway, the lesson is burn out every employee until they can't work for 5 years with disability checks.
Send them to the mines.
Yeah.
Studios out there that are working hard to make as great a product as they can. So what was my point in sharing this information? Well, honestly, I think they hold the answer to what the next big trend in anime might be. We've seen various trends throughout our lifetime, and most of the time there are many trends popular at any given time. Sports anime can be considered a trend, as well as shonen genre.
I mean, I wouldn't say sports anime is a trend per se. Like, it's more of a genre that's just kind of there. Like, I don't know if I would say sports anime is just a trend, right?
There are always a couple sports anime, because there's
that's what I mean. It's not
a football one, and there was Birdie that was supposedly a golf one, but I hear
that's what I mean. Like, I don't think it's like a trend. It's more just a genre that's just there and exists, and it's not going away, right?
Yeah, ever-present slot.
Yeah.
A slot taken up by a sports anime.
A slot, yeah. Those goddamn sports animes taking up my Isekai slots. Anyway, let's continue.
Genre as a whole. What we aren't focused on, though, are the trends that are already set in stone. For example, shonen anime has already been established.
Shonen, it's again like, okay. My man. You need to define what the fuck you mean by trend, right? What is a trend? What do you mean?
Yeah, I let it slide, right?
Because shonen anime and sports anime are not trends, they're genres. They just exist, right? It's a thing that exists. You could say Isekai could be a trend, right? Because it's popular, right? And people talk about it and it's in the limelight, and maybe that is what could call it a trend, maybe. But my problem here is, like, how do you even define that, right? How are we going to define what a trend is, Ellie? Like, what do you think?
I mean, I let it mostly slide, right? Because I understand what he kind of means. Because
I do too, but I'm still going to criticize it because it's a bit. It makes the video kind of disjointed.
It is.
I guess
you're right, because you're right in that he doesn't really distinguish, because I don't believe there was ever really a sports trend, unless you go back to some Tsubasa and Prince of Tennis. Maybe there were like 5 others.
Would you consider like when the Big Three was big, right? Would you consider that like a shonen trend when the Big Three existed? Like, is that a trend? right? Like that's
is,
where I'm getting confused.
They're like, but they're like more like the the tent poles, the places all the others gather around and try to copy and emulate.
Jake in the chat's kind of getting at what I'm talking about, right? It's like he's asserting authority by vague definitions, and I think that's what's kind of triggering me here a little bit. Is he's just being like, look. Zola's trained. It's a yeah. He's confusing genres with trends. Yeah,
Now,
that's why
popularity
I'm
of genres with trends. Or,
yeah, you could say that. Yeah, the popularity of a genre, but even then, it's like I mean, has Shonen got any more of this popular? Like, I don't think so.
Maybe Bleach isn't the powerhouse that it once was. Naruto is kind of faded.
Yeah, but those are separate shows though. That's not talking about the genre itself, right?
I do think there is a presence that they no longer have. That even if they count for more than just the one show, they dominate the conversation, and that's maybe missing.
Excuse me.
Isekai is taking, or at least in 2 years ago, 3 years ago, had taken up a lot of conversation space that may have gone to talking about how cool Sasuke was in that one fight.
Maybe.
So
maybe.
that may be confused with popularity of a trend. The amount of conversation there is around a particular show and its genre.
Right. All right. Well, let's continue.
Established for years now as a major trend. It's not a new fad to like shows about fights.
Yeah, you see what I mean? You see what I mean, though, right? You see, you get what I'm talking about, right? Like it's kind of. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind
meaningless
of
words
in action. But when Isekai was introduced, it was the next big thing, a new fad, so to speak. So to be the next big thing in the industry, in the sense of what I'm talking about, it must create a new big revolution in the industry that, because of its existence, the market recognizes it and takes it into account when making and adapting new shows. Moe anime was a 2000s trend of making.
What is he actually saying, right?
Yeah. What is exactly? Yeah, what do you mean by this?
I don't really get what he means by this.
Yeah, like
Moe shows.
Anime.
I mean, I would consider Moe anime as a trend at some point, right?
Yeah.
I would agree that Isekai is a trend that still exists right now. But then he uses the same term for genres and.
Yeah, he's confusing genre, and he's really muddling up genre and trend in this section.
And
it's just causing confusion.
I feel like that he's using trying to do some big word analysis on the subject, but by way of confusing the two things, or equating the two things.
Yeah, it's very weird. But anyway, let's continue.
Characters, especially women, look cute and adorable. It was a new revolutionary concept and complete.
I don't.
Is it?
No, I don't think that, because I mean, even as far back as like the 90s and the 80s and whatnot, you still had like shows with cute girls in them. Like, yeah, moe is a foundational aspect of otaku culture. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? It's not like fucking Haruhi came out and all of a sudden fucking moe anime existed. That's not how that worked. Yeah, moe is not like our man needs to do like I've actually been considering because I figured out that I might be able to pick up a physical copy of the Moe Manifesto. I may or may not be able to do that at some point. So I'm tempted to maybe jump on that opportunity and read that thing in real life with my hands, not on a screen. Read it with my hands, Ellie.
Oh.
Apparently Jake's got a copy of it.
We can do a book club on the Moe Manifesto.
We could do a book club on it, right? But like, this is what I keep saying, right? I think the entire the through line of this video and this kind of section, this cast, right, is like the man clearly doesn't fucking know what he's talking about, right?
Not
the man
really.
Man needs to do more research, right? Man needs to go, hey, the 80s and the 90s, they like existed. What happened? what happened back then that created the lineage.
Remember the good old Google forums where they proclaimed the end of anime in 1994.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Otaku and the struggle for it. Yeah, that was another one I was looking into as well. Jake,
I have a whole list wish listed on my local web shop. So with one button, I can get every semi-academic book on Japanese media, especially related to anime and manga.
I'll have to look into it. But anyway, let's continue.
Completely changed, but that's a topic for another video. So those are my qualifications for what I consider the next big thing. So let me just say what I believe.
Well,
what do you believe? Have you not been saying what you believe?
Yeah, and I don't what does he mean? These are his qualifications. Like what actual qualifications has he stated? Like that it has to be a genre that is a talked about genre. I'm really confused.
The trends move through time.
Yeah, but how's that a qualifier for what the next big thing is going to be, Ali? Like, what? I didn't even know that that's what he was doing. Okay. Let's see. What's the next big thing? Let's see what he thinks it is.
I believe it is. One trend that is up and coming, more to speak, is anime movies. Well, yes, anime movies have been around for a while. Thanks to this success like Mugen Train and the Fate Stay Night movies in America, I've noticed some theaters are showing more anime movies, new and old. This summer,
I don't think that anime movies
they're not going to make more movies. They're just going to air the movies that they have.
Anime movies are not going to replace Isekai. I'm sorry to tell you this. The Moe Manifesto features interviews with several people. Yeah. I'm familiar with the book. I just haven't.
I read it. I read it through already once, but it was digital, so less information retention.
Yeah. Would have to get a refresh on it. But they're both really they're good books. But back to the topic of the video though.
No, the movies aren't going to replace the seasonal isekais.
Yeah, they're two completely different fucking things.
Also, at least for the coming while, they are not going to make more anime movies. They're just going to release them in more regions. Have them subtitles in airs.
Yeah, because there's been a bigger push for them to come out.
Also, people know anime and can read these days.
You say that, but you say that.
I don't live there, so I don't know exactly. But apparently, the United States was famously allergic to any subtitled movies, so everything had to be dubbed, and then it was bad. But recently, also because of anime and stuff like Parasite being an Oscar and whatnot, watching things subtitled is something that the Americans have learned to do these days.
It's a new trick they've learned. Yeah.
Yes.
Anime movies always been popular. Yeah, I mean, people were talking about like Your Name and fucking.
More movies.
There's been plenty of anime movies.
I was slightly surprised that even in my local theater there's a Demon Slayer movie being shown. So.
I saw the No Game No Life movie in theaters, so I got to see that.
I haven't seen that movie.
It's good, actually. It's really good. The No Game No Life movie is great. It's really fucking good. But I saw that in theaters, so yeah. So there's definitely been like more push to get these movies in theaters in other countries. But again, that it's getting besides the point that it's not going to replace Isekai. I mean, I've always said that. Like, I made my predictions several years ago that I thought that revenge stories were going to be the thing that people were going to start to jump onto. And I've been somewhat right, somewhat wrong on that. I didn't really take off the way that I thought it was going to. So, this is the thing about predictions, right? They can be wrong, right? But I always kind of thought that because you had stuff like Redo and I was reading a lot of these kind of revenge type, dark hero, anti-hero, antagonist type stories similar to Redo. But a lot of those have kind of just sort of died off, right? So that genre sort of ended up not going in the direction I thought it was going to go. So, at this point, it's kind of like, anyone's game. So let's see what else he has to say. Maybe he's got another one.
Yeah, 1
It's
second,
not just
right?
movies.
Because I have to mention I did research and see that I could.
You did research! Oh boy. Big research time.
Quarter past 8. I can watch tomorrow. Can go tomorrow to the theaters for Demon Slayer, the Road to Victory movie apparently. Or maybe it's just the season.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, let's continue.
I had the chance to see Weathering with You, as theaters near me were having a week-long showing. In the past, this almost would never happen. You'd be lucky to see a Ghibli film at most in America. But that seems to be changing. This winter, not only is a Jujutsu Kaisen movie releasing in theaters, but also the rom-com quintessential quintuplets is getting a movie. Yeah, a rom-com anime is getting a movie to release
really anything
in theaters.
special at all.
No.
I mean,
not really.
There have been movies of stuff all the time.
Yeah. But anyway, let's keep going. We're getting there.
That leads to my overall new genre trend that I think we might see overtake Isekai, rom-coms.
Ah, here we go.
Also,
The rom-coms are back on the menu, apparently. Again, it's like that the rom-coms never went away. It's not like they disappeared. Oh god.
Look, I'm a pretty big fan of romance anime.
Oh, see, okay, I see what's happening. Ali. Our boy's personal bias is kicking in. Our boy's into his romance anime, his rom-coms, and he's like, man, I want everyone to like the rom-coms the same way I like the rom-coms, Ali. I hope that the rom-coms replace the isekai so I could talk about the things that I like and not be treated like a weirdo, Ellie.
You mean that he's suffering from confirmation bias?
Yes, he's suffering from the confirmation bias. He's getting a bit.
Also, I did a quick check, right? And My Hero Academia got a movie in 2000 and
but My Hero Academia's got movies, like a shitload of movies, and rom-com. As Mr. Big says in the chat, it's not the first rom-com to get a movie. Gotta respect him at a 10-minute promotional ad for rom-coms coming back to the forefront.
Also, I doubt that they're really. I mean, 2 years later, I assume this video, they're still not.
Well,
really bad.
and I don't think that it's not like they ever went away, right? It's not like they, But anyway, let's finish it up.
Okay, fan. That stuff makes you feel some type of way. I just can't help it. I think it's apparent, though, that rom-coms are having quite the influence on the industry if they feel that a rom-com anime is a good approach to make money. This is exactly what I'm talking about with studios taking risks. The Quintuplets is a pretty good show, as well as popular. It took over my Instagram Discover page for about a solid few months, and this show...
Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias.
There always is a rom-com of some kind every season, right?
Yeah, usually, and there's usually and again, I wouldn't be using your Instagram feed or whatever because algorithms and putting things in front of you that it thinks that you like and pushing like narratives and stuff, right? Like you gotta understand. You gotta understand that maybe it's not giving you a true perspective of reality, right? Like. Just saying. That's why I'm saying confirmation bias.
Yeah, I mean, To Love Ru Darkness season 2 aired in 2015, so I guess that's
yeah.
That's a once.
But that's an itchy though. That wouldn't be. He'd probably.
Yeah. What about
anyway.
Call of the Night or something?
Yeah, Call of the Night would probably be a bit more better. But anyway,
show isn't alone in the charge. Love is War is another super popular rom-com that I can confirm actually made me laugh.
Yeah, but that was also a popular manga too. Like again, like Lovers' War was already being talked about before it got an anime, right? So
yeah, and I hope actually that it will get another season because even though the movie Kaguya-sama, but they had a good ending. There is still like a third of the
A
manga
bunch of
left
shit
to go.
left. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the story doesn't end when you get a girlfriend. There's still trials and tribulations up ahead after that.
And all that shit. Yeah. So anyways,
Who would have thought rom-coms could actually be funny? Those are only 2 recent shows that belong to the genre, and trust me, there is way more. Just look at the genre scroll page on any anime
So there are
website, and you'll
more.
know what
Fuck me.
Well, so what is his point?
Yeah, what is his point? Alright, well, we're almost done. Let's just blitz.
I mean. Alas, the question may still remain in your head. Does the rom-com genre have enough power to overtake Isekai? Well, not yet. Rom-com
Yeah, but does it have to, though? That's my... Like, this is the... Again, he's using this faulty premise of, oh, there's only a finite amount of resources. We have to, you know... Yeah. Mr. Big is having the same thought I am. Like, does it have to, right? Does it have to overtake Isekai? Why does it have to overtake Isekai?
Is
What
Isekai
is the point?
stale and bad or something?
Yeah, Isekai stale and bad, rom-coms good and based. I will draw Isekais as the Virgin and my rom-coms as the Giga Chad. Therefore, I shall win.
Too bad. I have drawn my Freerun as the ultimate chatters, and have beaten you both.
Beaten you, yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, it doesn't have to overtake. Like, these two things can exist in the same space, right? They don't have to be separate entities. They can exist, right? So anyway,
needs a couple more heavy hitters before I can confidently say it's more popular than Isekai. But I believe in the next year or two we might see a shift away from Isekai and towards rom-com.
Have we seen a shift in the last 2 years?
The fun thing is, Nretsew, that you can see what kind of shows is going to air in the upcoming year or so, or at least couple of seasons, right? So at least for the next year, you will see approximately what will air, and big popular shows will get an announcement earlier. So you can reasonably predict which shows will stay popular or have more shows because they will be already announced. Going on my anime list real quick, and I'm going to the end of this year, right?
Well, while you do that, I'll respond to Jake that I believe the masculization of romance anime. I think we put that in the list, but it's one of those ones. It's one of those. I think that's like a long video, so I think we put it in there. But when it comes to those long videos, we have to like dedicate more time for them. Right, so I could have a look, and I'll see if we put that in the chat or not.
Nretsew, I have good news for him. In summer, so in half a year, there will be a comedy romance show.
Oh boy!
Although next season, to his great dismay, there will be Konosuba season 3, Mushoku Tensei season 2. Slime season 3. There will be your favorite show of all time, Real Monster.
Yeah, boy, let's go!
And there was another one that I recognize as an isekai.
So I think I found the video. It's like 41 minutes.
4 times as long as we strive to do.
Yeah. It's so just so I'm confirming, Jake, it's a video by a guy called Super Dude, I think, is the one you're talking about.
I did skim the. Maybe did I post it there because I
no, I looked for it in the videos to maybe cover, and I didn't see it, so I put it in. Oh yeah, you did. Oh, you did put it in there. I just didn't. Oh, he changed the title. That's what happened, because I looked for the title in the chat, and in your post, it's the masculine gendification of anime romance, but then he's changed the title to the masculization of anime romance. So I'll delete my one because you did post it in the chat. It's just he changed the title. So when I looked for the title in our chat list thing.
Mm.
I couldn't find it because we changed it. The bastard changed it on us. He did. God. I wonder why he changed the title. That's interesting. But yeah. So we do have that in our list, but it's another 40-minute one, and as we've said before, with those ones, we have to dedicate like a time slot, right? Yeah. We have to sit for you sit for a 7-hour critical critique stream like we did with that one the fan service video that had to be split between 2 streams because we went way too long on that. So like we're not opposed to doing the long videos. We just have to work it into the schedule, right? We have to figure out.
It doesn't have chapters, Nretsew. Can you check real quick?
I'll have a look. I'll have a look. I'll have a look. Give me one second.
We can say 2 chapters or 15 minutes, 20 minutes at most.
It does have chapters, yeah.
All right, so we
could do it in chapters or something.
All right, so we'll take a look at that, right?
We'll take a look at that. We'll figure out a way to do it.
I remember that I had opinions, but it was a long video.
Yeah, so you had opinions, vague opinions.
But I didn't commit those opinions to memory because the video was too long.
Yeah. Never gonna beat the normalities streams. Yeah, fuck, mate. Oh man. But anyhow, let's finish off the video because we only got like a little bit left. It's almost done.
Only time, if I'm right. Maybe 2 years down the road, I'll make a follow-up video that's either a celebration of me being super damn smart or completely stupid. Either way, I hope you all enjoyed listening to my thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe. I make anime and Japanese related content bi-weekly and would really appreciate the support. It's been fun, guys. I'll see you next week.
He's done. Okay. So yeah, that's the
kind of a classical, badly researched opinions.
Classic ignorance is bliss video.
Also,
that's pretty much my final thoughts. Really, is like it's pretty much a bunch of stuff that we've already talked about and gone over before. And I feel like the man could have done a bit more research into the
because even by this point, right? Our good boy, Pause and Select Joe, already by this point, I'm very sure, already did the interviews with the actual authors of the actual Isekai and actually had them say, oh no, the next thing will be dungeon crawling.
Yeah.
Which is very much, I can, this season, right, there is Unwanted Undead Adventurer. Those words in that order, or maybe not. And that is a guy that is dungeon crawling after he died and became a skeleton and now a zombie kind of guy. He's dungeon crawling. And there's, of course, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in Dungeon is still going on.
Yeah.
So there's also dungeon crawling. So there's at least 2.
Ray Monster is very dungeon crawly as well.
Yeah, after he establishes a society, he goes out a lot, from what I vaguely remember.
Well, yeah, a lot of the current stuff is him going into like increasingly because of the power scaling. Like he has to go to increasingly more in like absolutely insane dungeons and stuff to power scale, right? So yeah, yeah, I think we're pretty much exhausted. I don't really have any other thoughts about the video.
Yeah, I did have maybe a slightly false. He could have done more research, and the research isn't that difficult to find.
No, it's not.
What's after Isekai? The few authors that were interviewed said dungeon crawling, and right now there are a couple of dungeon crawling anime. That's of course not to say that romance anime can't come back or something.
Well, the question isn't whether or not it can or cannot come back. It's like, did it ever leave? Like, did romance anime ever leave? Like, I would contest that it didn't leave. Like that would be my point. Because there's been plenty of romance animes come out that are perfectly serviceable.
Yeah, man. My show, my Shikakomori, can't be a cutie or or she isn't
Mm.
just cute. Remember the pink-haired girl that is very tough and cool, but she wants to be cute for her boyfriend?
Yeah. That came out. Yeah, and then there was the tomboy one too, the tomboy anime that came out recently.
Tomo-chan is a girl. Then is Komi Can't Communicate. That's a romantic comedy kind of deal. I'm just looking at the anime list, and in spring of last year, there are like 3 romance comedy side by side in a row. There's a co-workers romance comedy kind of deal, and Data Life, I guess. If you don't want to count that, that's fine. But there are like I can count like 5 of them in a single screen.
Yeah. So I'm kind of the
season.
same, where I'm like, it does. Yeah. These people in there and bad researching. I swear to God.
Oh, dare they?
How dare they not? How dare they be ignorant, Ellie? How dare they do this to us? Force us to. How dare they force us to?
Yeah, Jake. Maybe that's a thing, right? We all know games, and we kind of maybe are skipping over the contrivance of isekai. Also, Nretsew solo leveling is totally a dungeon thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we have 2 dungeon crawling anime this season. Oh, I forgot to mention. So I mentioned here. If isekai is being replaced right now by dungeon crawling stuff, it is also being replaced by villainous shows. Because there are more villainous shows these days. Didn't I say there were 2 this season, and there were like 2 others the previous year.
Yeah, there's definitely been an uptick in there.
Yeah, so dungeon crawling has been, crawling up from in the background. Villainous shows have been getting a rising up, and next season there are 4 traditional isekais coming out in Mushoku Tensei and Slime and the other one that I'm forgetting right now.
So yeah, so it's a good balance. It's a good balance of stuff coming out. It's not all just one thing, right? And I think a lot of people conflate like, oh, everyone's talking about a thing, right? With oh, that thing is like the big pops, the big pops, right?
It's the biggest thing ever, but nobody talks about it.
Yeah. But anyhow, I guess so. So what do we want to do first? Because we could do anime talk, or we could do anime awards talk.
Ooh, I forgot about the anime awards. Let's do anime awards.
Yes, let's because we can get that out of the way real quick, because the anime awards happened. Neither of us have watched the anime awards, and we don't plan to.
No.
because fuck Crunchyroll. I don't really give enough of a shit to watch the anime awards. But the winners have been announced, and we can because we did a little bit of a stream segment a while ago where we were making our predictions. So let's see if our predictions came true or not, and let's see who won. So if we scroll down, we're gonna
it doesn't capture my mouse when the one time that I do want it.
All right, so anime of the year is Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. So I kind of expected it. I mean, I believe at the time, if you click on them, it brings up the other.
Oh, did you see the nominees? Because we voted and not submitted it. Mobile Gundam. Mobile Suit Gundam.
That's original anime. You're not on anime of the year.
Yeah. Sorry, I skipped over to original.
You skipped because we're doing one at a time, Ellie. One at a time. So Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not surprised. Like, I mean, if it wasn't that, it was gonna be Oshi Bochi probably. Because as I mentioned, Demon Slayer was a bit myth. Most people, I haven't heard a lot of great things about Demon Slayer. Chainsaw Man, I've gone on about how I didn't like that at all. So, and then Vinland Saga, I didn't know anything about because I watched.
And there's only that one last season was big. I don't think that people were watching the entire season just for the one epic scene of I have no enemies.
I have no idea either. So
We
Jujutsu
voted,
Kaisen season
our
2.
vote went to Oshinoko, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. It was. We're gonna probably forget. It doesn't matter.
No.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters too much. But like, yeah. So yeah, it was gonna be one of those 3. So I'm not surprised that Jujutsu Kaisen won that one. Original anime is a little bit of an interesting one. Because I don't know anything about buddy daddies or whatever.
No, I thought Mobile Suit Gundam was good. So although it's kind
yeah, I thought Gundam was going to get it too. I think we voted Gundam because it was one of the ones that we
well,
you had watched.
I didn't make an email account, so the votes were counted.
Wait, no, JJK is an Isekai domain expansion. But yeah. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Character design,
and this is what's iffy. The thing is,
it's gonna be the Jujutsu Kaisen Awards, Ali. That's the thing, right?
Wait, one second.
Because
are these
I'm not
surprised. In order?
surprised.
I'm going to click.
I don't know.
It feels like they are ordered on how many votes they are.
Maybe.
Because
I don't
Oshinoko
know.
is here second, right? In Anime of the Year, Oshinoko is the second one here. And in Best New Series, Oshinoko is second here. And
I don't know. Who cares? It doesn't
I'm
matter.
going to click real
But
quick.
yeah, best character design went to the
never mind.
Jujutsu Kaisen movie, which again, it's like it's
iffy.
unshocking to me at all.
Best animation.
Interesting that Demon Slayer took that one instead of like Psycho, Mob Psycho or Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man. Like, I'm actually kind of shocked that was the one that won that one. I guess maybe they just didn't want Jujutsu Kaisen to win every single thing. Which is kind of weird because cinematography, skipping ahead, went to Jujutsu, so kind of interesting. Best new series going to Chainsaw Man is sad. I'm sad. Why Bochi or Ochi should have gotten that. Heavenly Delusion too should have got that.
It's odd, right?
Look, I'm a Chainsaw Man hater. Okay, I have to hate on Chainsaw.
I have to hate. This is kind of a recap of our votes in a sense, although we have forgotten it. As a newness factor, I would kind of right now I would want Heavenly Delusion over the rest.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just go through art directions. I guess.
Let's just go through real quick because this is not like it's a big deal.
Yeah,
anyway.
art
direction
stands out.
I'm glad Bochi at least won something. Like come on.
Yeah, but between these categories, Bochi was the popular one, so the rest didn't have a chance.
Yeah. Continuing series being One Piece. I love opening and ending is just fucking Jujutsu Kaisen again. Just more Jujutsu Kaisen.
Not even Idol.
Yeah. Well, best anime song went to Idol, so I guess that kind of works out. Best director, best main character. Of course, Luffy was gonna win. Like, come on, what the fuck? Like, come on.
Oh yeah, he's popular.
Protect at all costs. Of course, it was going to be fucking Spy X Family, right?
Action.
Best comedy is Spy X Family. Best romance was Missing Pieces. And then I love how like the rest of it is just Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and then you get Dr. Stone as Arabic. I love it. It's fucking funny. Because we skipped the VA stuff for most of those.
We don't know.
But I love that. I love how it's just fucking. Oh, it's great. So pretty through the past winners. Yeah. So I would say it's pretty much what I expected, right? Like it's gone pretty much the way I thought it was gonna go.
Oh yeah, and you won really last year of protecting at all costs.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's the end of that. We don't have to.
Yeah.
We don't have to keep going on that then. Let's talk about the current animes. what we've been watching. What have we
Yeah,
been up to, Ali?
Nretsew, from 1 till from 1 to 9. Pick a number.
5.
5. The Diaries.
All right, you get to have a chat while I get a drink.
Yeah. So, we are still, and we're still kind of we're really setting up the next word. We are not really dealing anymore with the things of the last episode, because 2 episodes ago Junji was almost killed. Episode after that was Mao recovers and finds out some details. This episode is again really setting up the next arc. This is the start. Lacan, the shady dude on the middle.
New arcs. All I call it was new arcs are starting. That's
new arcs. The shady guy on the middle left is plotting some devious scheme, and
being a schemy boy. He's
and
a schemy boy.
Nothing good is going to have come from that. Also, Mao has no. Will just ask, "Hey, get naked. I want to see your dick."
Big muscle man dick.
Because Big Muscle Man wants to buy out her surrogate sister / mother. So she was raised in a brothel by these courtesans.
Right.
And this dude says, "Hey, I really like this one courtesan, and there's rumors that she's being bought out."
Right.
Because
I want to buy her instead.
Because I love her, so I want to buy her out. So Mao as the kind of Mao is judging if he's good enough for her.
We need to do penis inspection day.
She really does. I want to inspect his penis to see if he's good enough for her.
Is your penis compatible?
Unfortunately, Jinshi walks in just too early, and he gets kind of indignant and jealous and very worried that she wants to see him naked. And
she wants. Yeah, it's good rom-com stuff, right? Good.
Also,
the rom-coms are not actually dead. You know?
She very casually solves a mystery of the doctor in the upper images. Apparently he comes from a paper making family. Paper is kind of expensive and difficult to make, and the paper is getting paper is as if you've watched Bookworm, paper is very difficult.
It is. I haven't watched Bookworm, but I know of the way that they used to make paper back in the day. It was a very time consuming process. It was a very big deal.
Yeah.
Back then.
So recently, the paper has been crap. Terrible paper have they making.
Shit.
And they They are at risk of losing the status of being the suppliers to the palace because their paper is so bad.
Because your paper. Oh shit! What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Well, they use some water for the paper. And they recently got some oxes to help with some fertilizer and whatnot, etc. To do work. But oh no, the paper has gone terrible. Well, what could have happened? Well, maybe the oxen are drinking from the water that they then use to make paper. Spitting in,
fucking up the
as they are spitting in some saliva, and saliva has all those enzymes and whatnot. And that's messing up the paper. So Mao casually solves a mystery and saves him, his family from total bankruptcy and disgrace. As she does.
Good stuff.
So we got a mystery in this. We got some funny, "Hey, you get naked, I want to see your dick." And Lacan isn't a nice dude. I might have mentioned this previously. He wanted So Mamo's mother was a courtesan, a prostitute. Well, not
Right.
even a prostitute. She was just, a woman you spend time with for loads of money.
She was the whole, as
She
you say.
no, she wasn't. She didn't have sex. The man just really
Oh.
weirdly wanted her to spend
Look,
time with her.
you gotta stand there and look pretty, so I look like a Giga Chad. Okay.
Yeah, kinda. But she was getting bought out, and Lacan was from damn. She's cost a lot of money. I don't have that. You know what? I'll just get her pregnant, and then she will lose all value as a courtesan, and she'll be trash. So nobody can
Yeah.
have her.
Only my she can only stand next to me.
And no, if she can't stand next to me, I'll just ruin her and basically cause her to die. Because she loses all her value, then she has to actually prostitute a lot, then she gets a sexual transmitted disease, and then she'll
get syphilis. She'll get syphilis,
and then she'll mentally degrade so much she can't do anything at all.
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
She is basically dead. He killed her because he couldn't have her, and this is the guy that is now scheming.
He's now scheming. He's being
so
a big scheming
so
guy.
not good at all. Not fun things are about to happen.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
All right, now Nretsew, pick your next number.
All right, well, we did 5. Let's do 7. Let's do 7. Let's give that
The wrong way to use healing magic. I haven't watched this episode.
Well, okay, then let's do 8. Let's go straight to the next number. How about that? Go straight to
The unwanted undead adventurer.
Okay, what do you got to say about this one? How's this going?
I don't know if I mentioned. I might have also not have watched this episode. One last try, Nretsew, otherwise I'm going to.
Okay, let's go with number 3.
Too bad, that's solo leveling. We haven't watched that episode.
We haven't watched that either. All right, yeah,
you're
fine.
out.
You pick a number. You
Free run.
You do it. All right, let's talk about free run. Good episode today. We got some good stuff. Got some good action. Got some good fun times. I did quite like our beard boy. It's like he's just like, I suggested we work together from the start. It's just like, yep. He did. He did in fact suggest it from the start.
Denken is such a. I kind of want to know how he's like when he's actually dealing with an adversary, right?
Yeah.
Because he's been
later on
as nobody. He hasn't had to be violent and adversary to somebody, so he hasn't. But as an imperial mage and having survived blood struggles and political scheming, I wonder how he
all of that
is when he's actually having to counter scheme and whatnot.
And all that fun shit. Yeah. Be quite interesting.
So I would like. I mean, we might never because we're not in the imperial palaces and whatnot.
Well, we also have. Like, I mean, we've only got a few episodes left, obviously. I mean, I don't know if we've been confirmed for another season or not.
Well, it's likely, I guess. It's feels
popular. Very likely, yeah. So we'll see what happens later on. But at the same time, I do feel like it is quite, yeah, he's an interesting character. He's a fun guy. He's a fun character. But yeah, so this was interesting because we also got like some look into like the past and the differing philosophies between the other elf girl and Fiora. Yes, we got some interesting insight there. I think into the different philosophies. The idea of should magic be something everyone can use versus no, magic should only be for those that have talent and are special, right? And that kind of stuff.
Although she already kind of changed her mind because she does, she's the head of an organization that essentially teaches everybody.
Well, yeah, but they don't teach. like to get to the higher echelons, though. That's the whole reason.
Yeah, but
we're having
she
this
has
fucking test, right?
compromised on her beliefs in that sense.
Mm,
Because her
mm,
organization also administers tests for the lowest rank of wizards. So
That is
um,
true. That is true.
I would think that if you can make a flower field, you would qualify as the lowest ranking wizard there is. Therefore, she's structuring and
Therefore,
qualifying.
magic is still is a thing. Yeah. Yeah,
She is, but
I get you. I get
she
you.
is supporting the system that everybody can use magic.
And I get you. I get you. I get you. So yeah, we got some interesting insight. We also got to see, kind of the weakness of Freerin. The funny. It's embarrassing.
She stops paying attention when she casts spells herself.
Yeah, and how they used that to defeat the thing. It's quite good.
Also,
so yeah, no, I thought it was a
Nretsew,
good episode.
quick mention, right? Siri said, you'll be the only ones who will kill you is either the Demon King because you're going to kill him, or a human mage because somebody will surpass you. And the fun thing, Fern did kill Freeran.
Yes, she did.
She's right, also, but she didn't die actually. But
yeah.
She was killed. So the scenario of the elves being officially and totally being surpassed by humans is now. The elves are no longer at the peak. The humans are at the peak.
Yes. It has indeed happened. It has indeed happened. So yes, it's good episodes, good stuff. Definitely a fun time. So what do we got next?
Have you been watching Chain Soldier?
Yeah. So the sister, it's confirmed that the sister is the sister, and they had some fun interactions. So basically, all that happened this episode was Slave Boy got kidnapped by the sister, and now there's going to probably be next episode big fights between the sister and the Demon Slayer cause. Right, that's pretty much it. Like, there's not really a whole lot else to really get into. There was some fun, itchy looking stuff going on. Which was good. It's fine. But it's yeah. You can tell I'm really enthusiastic about talking about it. I'm so hyped about Chain Soldier. But it's like it's like there's not a lot to talk about. Like it's not deep. It's not, there's not a lot of like underlying stuff going on. It's pretty to the point, I mean, it's not like I'd say it's terrible. It's fine for like just casual. Oh, I'm just gonna watch this casually, right? Like it's fine for that. But it's one of those things where I'm just kind of like, yeah, all right.
I just wanted to mention it's time for torture.
Yep.
This week's episode went in some weird lore of the world.
Deep lore. We
got so you see this image, right? Lore. And what kind of world do you think this is?
Fantasy type world, demons, kings, big castles, big fun
Nretsew,
time.
Most of the demon society live in a slice of life Japanese town. Cars, electric poles, the school, the Japanese school with the same
school. They go to school. Yes.
Torture is a career path that you have to pick, and students worry about that.
You go to university. You go to torture university.
No. How you do? If you want to be a torturer, you have to make the demon. You go to the Demon King Palace on his fantasy plateau on an impossible rock structure, and then you have to convince him to spill a secret. And because there are apparently laws against torture, you have to, sway them. So torture is banned.
Hmm.
So you have to tempt the Demon King in some way.
Right.
And that's how the two demons in the middle with the little demon horns, the red and the purple one
Mm-hmm.
above the princess. They got a promotion to have big torture people by convincing by coercing, convincing, swaying the Demon King to give up a secret that he very much likes when in the final battle of an anime, the first OPE starts playing.
Very based. Very based. All
Right.
right. Well,
Also,
good.
also Vampire came in and whatnot. So, no. Apparently, just the Japanese countryside rice fields are also a thing in the Demon Come.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker.
Also, in this fantasy world that is just Japan.
It's just Japan. Yeah.
It's just Japan when it wants to be.
Whoops! It's just Japan.
No, it's just funny how there's another layer of funniness of just no, we're done with fantasy. We're now in Japan because it's funny that way.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, good stuff. All right, what do we got? What do we got, Ellie?
Let's do metallic real.
Yeah, we'll do metallic. So metallic's kind of. I was somewhat disappointed by this episode because they open with, "Hey, here is all of the memories of our dad," right?
Yes.
And they're like, "Hey, we have to find out the reasons behind all the things," and then they do that, and it doesn't answer any fucking question.
That's kind of the problem with this show in general, right?
Yeah, like it doesn't like. I wasn't necessarily expecting like, oh, we're just gonna like explain the entire like mystery or whatever, but they go down there, and all we really get was the dad saw Rogue as like a science experiment. He was a bit of an asshole, and then that's about it. And then they have like the conversation, and then they just have like a philosophical conversation about whether or not the Nerms deserve to get free will or not, or whether or not they should have free will or whatever. And then the fucking detective man is like, "Hey, both sides." Like, he literally does that. He literally is like, "Listen, but both sides though. That you both have a good point."
And then our the albino brother says, "Well, maybe let's not, because it's kind of a hassle."
Because I don't feel enslaved. I'm fine. I don't care. You know what I mean?
It would be
like
it would
quite
be bad,
literally.
Albino brother says it would be bad for the economy if they have free will.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And then the like fucking Blue Rogue shows up, right?
For some reason, I don't know why or where.
She just shows up, beats the shit out of Rogue, and then is like, "Nah, this isn't fun. I'm gonna fuck off now." Just leaves. And then of course the what's it, the corp, I don't know, the Illuminati base or whatever is getting attacked because the immortals want to fucking
get the souls and the robot
because they need to get all of the cores so that they can unlock the code Eve, so they can unlock the fucking free will thing, so they can kill humans or whatever. So like, yeah, it's there's two, like, this episode felt really weird.
So it's kind of late, but there is this show suffers really from not having an amnesiac protagonist.
Yeah,
the characters know too much. That's what I see as the problem.
They know too much, and we don't. Like, we don't know too much. Like, we don't know enough. Like, and I was expecting us to get a little bit more out of this episode, because it's like, shit. Like, oh, it's the guy's entire fucking memory in like books, right? Like, surely there's going to be some answers about like, oh, why was Rogue created? What is the deal? What's the deal with the free will thing? And we got a little bit of that because it was like, oh, it's the girl who created them and she put in the code, but now she's sad because it means they've been enslaved. So now she's put in the other code, right? And
To
now
undo
that
the
means
slave.
to undo the slave, and it's heavily implied that she got killed for that, right? Like it's very heavily implied that she got killed. So guess
But
the
also
mum got murdered
then
too.
there's still the carnival guy. Did he get the code?
You have the carnival guy who's cloned Rogue, right? And like it's not like the show's not interesting. It's just like it's so fucking
Did he clone her?
That's the implication of Blue Rogue, right? Like he's cloned Rogue so that he can, because he's trying to create Code Eve as well. So they've cloned her or something.
Because she did appear when she, but I thought maybe she was already there. And you see, this is another problem.
See, this is the problem. Yeah, this is the problem. Like we don't fucking like. It's so confusing because there's so many moving parts happening, but none of them are like
So
coming together.
I identified the problem. She appeared in the episode where Rogue was kind of kidnapped and being brain scanned. I don't know if she is a character that she knows or if she's a new character created in that moment. So
yeah, I don't know either.
because we don't, because Rogue is a fun character, but she's not very a reactive character or even kind of a curious character. She doesn't really investigate from, hey, I've never seen her before, or hey, I recognize her from somewhere. If she said either things, right, then she already existed and this is a memory and she is around somewhere in the world, or hey, this is a new thing created in this moment.
Yeah,
but we don't know, and then the other immortals just appear and disappear.
And maybe we're just retarded, Ellie, and we just we're not big brain enough to understand Metallic Rogue. I don't fucking know.
So the thing is, right, I've been I'm not going to, but it would be kind of interesting to make a kind of an essay video on this thing of the moralities and politics of Metallic Rogue.
Because it is definitely interesting, and it is kind of going sort of in the way that I was, because I remember my prediction was like this was going to be some kind of like, oh, she's going to have to like ascend. Like there's a lot of like imagery of ascension and stuff, right?
Yeah, but
and although it doesn't quite look like it's going in that direction, it is going in the direction of like the question of free will. What does free will actually mean, right? What does it mean to actually be free and to be able to even not be enslaved?
I'm going to Rogue. You're kind of an idiot. Oh no, I'm going to find the middle ground between, oh, you should be all slaves, and no, we should be free.
Listen, Ellie, we need a little bit of slavery. We get a little bit of slavery, not
for the economy.
Full slavery. Yeah, for the economy. Yeah, a little bit of slavery to keep the economy going. It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Weird
free
show.
will. Yeah, it's very weird. But also you were predicting that fella in the middle right was one of the Immortal Six, weren't you? But I guess that's not gonna I guess you were wrong about that one.
Yeah. Just everybody on the damn bus turned out to be being immortal. I wouldn't be surprised.
So here's the thing, right? All of our complaints aside, I'm still having a fun time, right? I still think it's a fun show. It's just it's got some issues. That's the problem. Like it's definitely.
I am more interested in. All right. I mean, ever since episode 3 or so, it was all right. There's a big slavery freedom thing going on, and should be
big free will,
So I'm in it for more the, all right, show, what are your moralities? Are you going to say, nah, these half-robot people should still answer to humans for some... They're already Nretsew if they are freed today, right?
Mm.
They still rely on humans for that nectar stuff. So they still wouldn't be free as long as they don't have the means of production of nectar in their hands. Because also, just it's very messed up in that world.
It's very weird. Yeah, it's very weird.
The humans can steal nectar from a neon, and the neon can't fight back to get to the nectar, and it will just die. Also,
and then they'll just die.
Nretsew,
Also, nectar is a drug for humans, but it's also necessary for Nairns. Like it's very weird.
Nretsew, you are a neon, right? In this moment,
guess, maybe
you are. You just taking your nectar. You're fine for a week or so, or however long you need it for. Suddenly, Nretsew, a guy, you see two humans tied to a rail track.
Oh no!
Oh no! You have to pull the trigger to direct the train from one to the other. Oh no!
It's a trolley. It's the trolley question. Do I save the humans or do I save the nectar? Oh no!
No. You say there are two humans, both tied on both ends of the track.
Oh,
okay. In both directions. Nretsew, I have the answer for you. You die at that moment because both options have you
kill a person. Yeah.
Person. In action, if you don't do anything, you kill a person. If you put your hands on the lever and don't move it, you'll kill a person. If you move the lever, you'll kill a person. In this world where neons die if they see a human that they could have possibly prevented the death of, Nretsew, you die on the spot as soon as you recognize the situation. This is a terrible, terrible world.
God damn. Alright, yeah, it is very weird. But anyway, let's
Nretsew, I've had the perfect role to kill all neons at the same time. Have them all watch the same broadcast. Show this on the TV. Say
you didn't act. You didn't do anything. Oh no.
Show this on the TV and give them all a phone, give them all a button. And
they all have to vote. They all have to vote.
They all have to vote. And they all die on the spot before they even can vote. And
we solved the problem, right? We solved the problem, didn't we? Because now all the Nunes are dead.
So and they all dead. And then after they all dead, you just stop the track. A human stops the track themselves, and nobody dies when they can see. Suddenly they all die. Just show every neon rebellious neon show this problem. They all die. This problem solved. You don't even have to kill them yourself. They just die.
They just die, yeah. God.
What a weird show. Nretsew, it's I have to click in OBS.
You have to click it, yep. It's time to talk about my favorite show. So, what did you think of this episode, Ellie?
Good show. It's kind of it kind of continues on what I've kind of wanted from Azure. Her self-discovery.
Yeah, we're getting some flashes of that now and then. It's it's in the background. It's still there.
Yeah.
The author is reminding you, hey, we're getting some progress on that regard. It's happening.
Sam, I'll answer that. We'll answer that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a
minute. What I mentioned like 2 weeks ago that I was missing some resolution in the scene in the episode that you were hyping up to infinity. These bits are really what I want from that stuff, and it's still continuing on. I am very curious in the weapon she will get later on from this.
Yes, and it's, as I said before, it's kind of like we've had these like diverging plots happen, right? So it's like the two have split apart and they're doing their own things, and then eventually they're going to come back together, and then you're going to get like this, not necessarily the resolution, but you're going to get the comeback together of the two diverging plot lines. Because right now we've got the plot lines with the new characters, right? We've got the civil war, I guess you could describe it as, between her and the other girls, and then you also have the training arc for Azura, right? And how that's progressing. So very, very, very. I remember reading it, and it was very good in the manga as well. How they handled it, being able to kind of jump between the two sort of plot lines. So, what did you think about the other side of it? We got to find out about our idol girl a little bit, and we may or may not have seen an interesting little awakening happen.
Yeah, very much.
This episode.
Her apparent love for her dormant, now open love for expressionism. Apparently she sings better now, so alright.
So I'll explain this a little bit, right? So it's not spoilers, because it's obviously what's happened in the episode, right? So the general idea behind this is it showcases the difference between our main girl and the bitch, basically. Because when she was getting whipped, right? She's forced to strip. She gets.
Oh yeah, I
whipped
got
last
that right.
episode.
I got that. No,
Yeah.
I was going there later.
Yeah, well, we could talk about it now because I'll bring it up, right? So there's this episode shows that duality, right? It shows the difference between how the other chick is using the sexuality and the whipping as a way to put the girls down, to keep them in line, right? To put them down. Whereas our girl Utena is trying to rise them up, right? She uses it as a method of because even while it's happening, Idol Girl is saying, "Oh, she's just like the other girl. She's forcing me to strip. She's embarrassing me. She's just trying to do it." But in actuality, Utena is trying to raise her up and make her better, improve, more open, right? And that's what she cares, because Utena is basically doing the same. She's viewing this the same way she views magical girls, right?
No,
she wants people to overcome.
She wants to be the TV villain.
Yes, but no. Well, what I'm saying is she wants these characters to overcome and become stronger.
Oh no, maybe I should clarify. She wants to wants to play the role as a TV villain.
Yes, exactly. She wants to be that obstacle and to cause the hardships that cause characters to become stronger. She doesn't just want to put them down like the other girl does, right?
Yeah, no.
And
she was vindictive and mean and even, I mean, just stripping naked was a kind of a punishment on of itself. But then threatening to crush the things that she likes.
And then whipping and the physical pain aspect of it, yeah. So you see the duality between the two characters.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And it sits. Yeah, well, I'm talking to everyone in the chat, not just you, right? So you see the duality of the two characters and the difference in philosophy, right? And the difference in how they go about doing these types of things. And of course, the ecchi itself was fantastic. I don't recall if the first person perspective shot was in the manga, but I really appreciated that shot. That was a really good shot right there. That was great. That was fantastic. And then of course you also get the idea that she sings better when she's naked, right? Which may or may not come into practice later, because you also have to remember that we have Shadow Girl as well, who's also now part of the group, right? So what's her deal going to be?
She hasn't really committed to either side that much, but you know, she isn't really a fan. Yeah, I mean, I guess because she didn't like her friends being whipped all the time. So.
Maybe next episode, Ali, we will see her awakening, and we'll get to find out what's the deal. What's the deal with the Shadow Girl? What's the deal with the Shadow Girl, Ali? So there's interesting stuff going on. I obviously I already know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to say too much. But it is definitely my main comment is the way that they adapted it was really good. They did a really good job. I will say an interesting thing to note though is in terms of the adaptation is that it was a lot more violent in the manga. Utena actually gets seriously injured when Shadow Girl does, you know how she like comes out of the shadow and like strikes at Utena.
Yeah.
She actually gets a big gash on her chest. That's like an open wound that you see in the manga that you don't see in the anime. She doesn't get like she gets damaged and her clothing gets damaged, right? But they don't show the open cut. I'd have to go find it in the manga and show you.
She does bleed from her head, at least in this image that I have.
Yeah, she bleeds from her head. Yeah, but in the manga, it was a lot more. It was like the battle damage was a lot more brutal, I guess, would be the way to describe it. I'll have a look because there's someone in a different Discord that I'm in who, like, oh yeah, here we go, I've got it. Let me copy that image and I'll send it to you. I don't think you'll be able to bring it up on the stream because it's probably gonna be a bit. I mean, then again, you did bring up the her being naked and singing, so I guess it would probably
I picked
be okay.
ultimately I picked the lesser of the two. But...
Yeah, there you go. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You get what I'm talking about? So she actually gets a pretty big gash on her chest, going down her breast, down to her abdomen.
Try something risky here.
Yeah, oh, it's gonna be risky. Hey, there we go. I see it. Put that there. There we go. Yeah, but keep it small, so hopefully we don't get to.
That is a long, big gash indeed.
Yeah, she gets a yeah. So in the manga, the fight was a lot more brutal. It was a lot more physical injuries happening, and of course, all of it gets healed, like typical
in seconds. Magical girl shonen.
Magical girl healing. It can be assumed that Alice maybe healed everyone up, right? Like whatever, right? It's not a big. It's not a Samu's neurons rocker. Yeah, actually, it would have been cool if she got a scar, but I guess they didn't want to do that. But yeah, so that's what. But there's interesting, part of the reason. And I've mentioned this before, why I find this more interesting than Chained Soldier to talk about is because they change so much, but the changes they make it more interesting as an adaptation, right? It's not a one-to-one copy-paste. They are making these changes. And whether or not maybe this one was specifically just because of TV, right? Like they don't want to show as brutal. Like you could show the sexual content, but you can't show the violent content, like that interesting difference in Japanese kind of ratings and stuff.
If anything, I would prefer that more because violence is less socially acceptable thing to do than sex. Sex is a kind of a social acceptable thing to do. Violence shouldn't really be.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So that's why I find the adaptation more interesting to talk about because it changed. They've moved things around. They've changed certain events. The way that they animate certain things different to how it was presented in the manga. It's not just taking the manga screenshots and just putting an anime skin on it. There's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about with Gushing Over Magical Girls. It's a fantastic adaptation of the source material.
Yeah,
and it doesn't invalidate the source material either, because you can read the manga and get a different experience than watching the anime. So it's like you can do both.
That was kind of my problem with Dungeon Meshi, right? I've read the manga of Dungeon Meshi for a bit, and then I watched the first episode of Dungeon Meshi, the anime. Good animated and all, but it was just the same as the manga, so I already with barely any changes, so I didn't really even want to.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about, right? And there's not much reason to watch it if you've already watched, read the manga, right? There's no real point.
And that is an annoying balance in adaptation from a manga to anime, at least, is that either you don't like the changes because the changes mess up something that you liked from what you read, or it is such a carbon copy of the manga that it doesn't really add anything new to it.
Yeah, and then you have the rare case like Gushing Over Magical Girls, where the adaptation adds
or
to
free
the
run, from what I'm
experience.
told. From what I'm
Yeah,
told, free run, the fight scenes in free run are very sparse and basic because fight scenes are hard to draw in a manga anyway, and you have to be good at it. They're very good, I guess, or no, plenty serviceable in free run from what I'm heard. But the fight scenes in free run in Nretsew, they're super cool. They're epic. They do need 3D things when clicking out of OBS. When Fern is running from the fight for a second, they do a 3D shot panning thing with parallax and whatnot. That's super duper cool. That's not a thing in the manga. That's only better. Inventing stuff for the anime that makes it better.
Yeah, exactly. So there's an interesting discussion to be had about the role adaptations play in the overall media mix and how much they should deviate from the source material. It would be one of those things that would be interesting to do a video essay on, actually. Like just how, like, Gushing Over Magical Girls would be a perfect example you could use for that, to kind of be like, right, this is an example of a show that really does a good job at doing an adaptation that does the source material justice, but also can be its own standalone thing, right?
I
It's
would kind of, if we're going to workshop a video, then I kind of pick maybe I would go for free run because adding fight scenes.
Well, you could do both. You can do both.
But I'll pick free run, and as a counter example, I would pick Avatar.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And there will be something like Overlord because it's very good, but it messes some minor things up.
Yeah. So I guess we don't have much else to talk about Gushing this week.
I do have.
Unless you've got another point you want to bring up.
Dune.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just saying, do we have anything else about Gushing before we move on?
Well, I've slid the iPad over.
We've already done it. We've already switched to Dune. We have to talk about Dune now because it's one of these rare cases where we've both actually seen the thing. We've both seen a thing. Because I watched both the first movie because I saw that the first movie was leaving Netflix, and because I get Netflix via my internet service provider, I was like, yeah, all right, fuck it. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll watch the first movie, and then I'll go see, because my brother was somewhat interested as well, so I went to go see it with him like a couple of days ago. So I've seen both of the movies. I am familiar with the Dunes, Ali. I have seen the movies. So do you want to go first? What did you think? Did you think that was a fun time?
All right, so I'll just recap my experience with the first Dune. That was in the big theaters.
The big theaters, yes.
It was pretty epic. It was the vibe was kind of treating weird ass motions and sci-fi concepts as super ordinary things that they didn't even want to explain because it was just a fact of life. When they fought, in the first movie, when the Sutakars, jump from their ship and they fall down, they just have a wire. It just looks like they have a wire on them, and they don't. And maybe they do for the movie, but in universe, no. That's how you move when you do this weird ass thing. And also in the new movie, also in the beginning, when the Harkonnens move up a rock, they are just also on a wire. It looks so much they are on a wire. It's insane.
Yeah, it does. I saw that too. Yeah, I noticed that when I was watching. I was like, that's kind of like I think that's intentional. Like it's
so intentional. But to make a thing.
It almost felt like those Chinese kung fu movies, when they have like the wire fu, where they have like the characters obviously tied to a wire and they're like doing kicks and shit and flips and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what it felt like. Kind of had them
Yeah,
on a
but
wire.
it's treated so seriously, and that's kind of the fun part of. Oh no,
Yeah, sadly, Jake, that was a US thing. We didn't get we
no,
didn't
it's
get
way too
that. No.
expensive to make that
Yeah,
for every theater. No,
yeah.
yeah, no, I'm very appreciative of just making it look like the most amateur thing ever and treating it like it's the science fiction of the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought it was quite good.
Yeah, so that's just the vibe, the atmosphere of the movie. Then we move on to those that desert looks kind of nice though.
Yeah, it does look really good. They did a really good. Yeah, the desert looks really good. I think overall the special effects work was really good in the movie. It was
Yeah, there are even the massive crowds in the kind of the
big
uh,
CG, big crowds, big
they
lots of people.
I in the theater, right, when Paul was moving through a big crowd and you had an opta shot from above.
Yeah.
I was, all right, let's look in the lower right corner and
Hmm.
see how CG they look. Oh, I can't tell. All right, they look the same as the
Yeah.
crowd Paul is moving through. All right, check past. Uh,
Hmm.
I also kind of liked the. It was kind of refreshing to get a more Islamic vibe from it than just kind of.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is you also have to remember that it's based off a very, very, very old book. So
Yeah,
it's
I have
based
the
off.
very very old book actually.
Yes. I haven't read it myself, but it is based on it is one of the foundational science fiction works, you would say, basically. And I would assume that it does take very heavy inspiration from Middle Eastern Arab type culture and a very big inspiration. Stuff like the Mujahideen, right, and that kind of stuff, right? It's very, very, probably inspired by that kind of stuff. So it's quite interesting. I think I had a really good time watching both the movies. Like I'm gonna kind of talk about them sort of together, sort of not together, right? Like the first one was that was good, and then obviously it ends with the expectation that you're gonna get a second one, right? Which you did, right? And then the third one, my only real criticism, I think, is that I felt like the final third was a bit rushed. It felt like they were trying to push too much stuff at once because they kind of were like, right, we got to introduce like the rival guy, like the psychopath white
I
white
did
bald
like his
guy, right?
introduction though. That's
He had a good introduction, yeah. He had a good introduction, but my problem was like he gets introduced, he gets like 3 or 4 good scenes, right? And then at the end he just gets killed. And I'm like,
yeah.
like it feels like that should have been a rivalry between him and Paul that was meant to last longer, I guess, or
So
something. Like I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I had let myself spoil a little bit after the movie. After I watched it today, I watched a
Mm.
YouTube video of a review, and they said, "Well, in the books, right?
Well, in the book, sure.
So in the books, there was a longer rivalry. The skinhead guy tried to poison Paul several times or something.
Right.
So they really condensed his
Yeah, and that's just
his
one
time.
example too. That's just one example. Like it felt like there were a lot of elements, like Paul's rise to become the Mujahideen. Him, he drinks the blue life water right from the worm, and then he has his visions, and it's like, oh, now he could just see the future. Now he could just see what's going to
Well,
happen, and
I
he's
wasn't
decided
really
his path, right?
I wasn't I didn't it didn't really affect me in any way because it was kind of established that
Oh
uh
yeah, no,
he
it's just it felt well, it's more like a combination of things, right? Like it feels like the first half of the movie was fine, pacing wise, right? The first half was good. Like you get to kind of it's kind of sort of slow, but you're kind of getting the relationships forming. You're starting to get the establishment of stuff. But then it feels like in the final like third to like half, right? It felt like they had so many like not necessarily loose ends, but there's so many moving parts that they had to kind of conclude by the end of the movie, so that when they do like the next one, because there's obviously going to be a next one supposedly, right? Apparently, I saw a news story that the third one is being written right now, so it's going to happen probably, right? Like they had to get all of those like plot points kind of condensed into to the end, so that when they do the next one, they can focus on what they're going to focus on in the next one. Is kind of what it felt like to me. And I'm not saying that as like a massive problem. It's not like it ruined the movie, right? It's just something that I picked up on, right? It was kind of like, it's like, oh yeah, Jake's leaving, so yeah, see you later, Jake. It was kind of like, it's like you're in the car, right? And the car is going like 20 kilometers an hour, right? It's going at a nice steady thing, and then you like hit a highway, and then it goes up to 100. That's kind of what it felt like. It felt like there was a point in the movie where all of a sudden things were starting to happen really quickly, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Okay. It was like, oh. But anyway, what do you think of that? Would you agree or disagree?
Right,
what do you think?
The first half of the movie, Paul is really no, I'm not the Messiah. No, I do some hit and runs, and I'm doing very well. I'm just right outside of the city, blowing up the depots right outside the city.
Yeah.
So he's getting very close to basically take over the city. Basically,
yeah,
he's right outside the city and attacking there. So the entire spice production is at a complete halt.
Complete fucked. Yeah, completely.
He's already won the war basically. Meanwhile, his mother has drank the warm blood, the water of life, and she's now full on. Damn, I have to get Paul to be the Messiah. And first she converts first everybody in the north, and then she goes, all right, I'm peace out. I'm going to convince everybody in the south.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Paul is, maybe I should. Nah, I don't really want to, but. But when Paul ultimately decides to go to the south, first his mother has been there a while and has been kind of priming everybody to be there.
Yeah.
Secondly, Paul is already kind of decided that he wants to be the Messiah now.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe not necessarily that like he wants to, but he kind of feels like he has to.
He has to.
Right?
Well, yeah, has to. Yeah.
Similar kind of thing, because he's been having his own visions that have been like, oh no, if I do this, millions of people are going to starve to death. It's going to be big famine, big problem. Don't want to do it.
Yes,
but that's before he drinks the water himself, and now he has unlocked his brain or something, and now he can now I see the path, right? Now I see the way we can win, right? Now I get it.
So
now I understand all the things.
I don't, because the character, right? His character arc, his character journey has already reached his conclusion. Spending then and a half hour to convincing everybody is kind of a waste of time.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, I can see why. Yeah, I get you.
I also just liked how he said, "No, fuck you, I am the one." Hey,
you just even the mum is like, slow down, slow down.
No, you're right, but slow down.
Yeah, you're right, but slow down.
Hey, your grandmother.
Grandmother lost her eye, yeah.
And now you're praying to your grandmother. Kneel. He didn't say kneel, but he was like, I know who you are. I know what you think.
Bitch, I know where you live. I will find you.
Yeah, and then also, one of the leaders was like, I know what you dream of.
Yeah.
Do you dream of this? And fuck, he's right. Oh no, he's the one.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Oh, great one. What do you see? A green Arrakis. Oh god. Oh yes. The Messiah.
Yes.
That's very Messiah, convincing, right? I don't blame them. So no, Nretsew, I disagree.
big disagree, big debate.
Big disagreement.
I don't know. Well, like I said, I don't think it's a problem. I just felt like you can tell that there was a shift in the pacing. Is all right. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
but
like I'm gonna say it
I
as a big
still
deal.
think that's warranted in the sense that Paul's character
Yeah.
shifted, and now he is
Right.
the Messiah, and now things move on because
Yeah.
all the little plans and schemes and triggers and plots have been already placed, and it's all activated when Paul says yes, and Paul said
Yeah.
yes, so now, bam, everything starts in motion.
It's all
Yeah, move.
big holy war time. Let's
Yep.
go. Let's get some big holy wars for the Mujahideen, or however you say it.
Also, I very much enjoyed the fireworks and the
Holy shit, that final battle was cool as fuck. Yeah.
Also,
they're riding,
the fireworks.
They're riding the worms. Yeah. Oh yeah, the fireworks. The thing. Yeah. I know what you're looking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to go back to that planet because it was such a cool vibe.
It was a cool vibe. Yeah.
The planet of the Harkonnens, the Harkonnens. The Harkonnens?
Harkonnens, yeah.
Harkonnens is so oppressive, so unbelievably oppressive.
Yeah.
It's such a oppressive vibe. You wouldn't believe the huge tower overseeing the arena.
They really got the vibe down, yeah.
And also
they really did.
Yeah, the guy, the fat guy, is such a unbelievably powerful threat.
Man, yeah.
He's such a threat just by posture.
But then his body gets returned to the desert.
Mm-hmm.
His body is returned to the desert. But
returned to the desert, left to rot in.
Left
to rot in the desert.
Yeah.
But yeah, the final fight.
The was fucking great.
Oh no!
Holy
don't
shit.
worry, my emperor. The cliffs will shield us from the storm.
Yeah, about that. About that. So yeah, no, yeah, it was very good. It was very good. I think I'm very interested to see what they do with the next movie, and where we go, because now it looks like we're going to be going kind of interstellar, I guess.
Well, in the first movie, right? There was a quick vision of him returning to his home planet, and there was a guy. There was a group of soldiers waving his flag and chanting his name. So he already has one planet ready as a base of operations.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of wondering. All right, does he now have control of the Imperium's? The Empire's direct, vessel planets.
Well, he does have the Emperor hostage right now, so that
not even really a hostage because he's now prince, right? And emperor. Actually, he is the emperor. So the planets the emperor directly controls should now belong to him. So he already has a pretty good basis from. He should have the Empire's ships, the Empire's soldiers, the Empire's infrastructure. He's not starting with just Arrakis. That's my point. For the third movie, he starts his war with every resources that the Empire independently owned. So yeah, he's not. Yeah, like I said, he's not starting with Arrakis. He's starting with Empire ships. At least that's what I gathered from what I assume and gather.
Yeah. All right. Well, yep. I guess the final thoughts on that was it's good movies. Go see them. They're good.
Yeah.
They're good time.
You kind of spoiled a little bit, but not too much.
Kind of spoiled a little bit, but I reckon you could still have a good time because man, they are really a good spectacle. They're really good. Really good. All right, what else we got to talk about? Because I think you've been playing some games, haven't you?
I didn't put it on the tablet, but yeah, Helldivers.
You've been spreading democracy, Ali. Have you been spreading democracy around?
I have spending managed democracy quite a lot.
Yes, managed, not just democracy, managed democracy. Right?
Also, this is kind of what I. This Star Trooper being in my mind the past days through Helldivers, realized that I see slime kind of in a similar way as Starship Troopers, right? Starship
Right.
Troopers is a movie made out of propaganda.
Well, it's funny because it's also a failed parody as well. So it's quite. There's a big discussion to be had about that movie and the way that the director didn't understand the books at all and
No,
a bunch of other
he
stuff.
understood.
I've seen some good videos about it.
Well,
about
he didn't
just
he
the movie.
didn't not understand. He understood and said, "Oh, that sucks. I'm going to make a
Yeah,
movie."
but then the problem is in creating the satire, he made it like too good, right? He made the satire too good because people want to be the fucking like thing that he's satirizing, right? Which is the problem.
No, the no the I don't know. From what I know and heard, is that the reception first was the movie is bad. Although, except
Yeah,
this,
well, yeah.
the
It became a
reception
cult
was the
classic
movie is
later, yeah.
bad, but later on, everybody said, how could anybody miss the intent of this movie? Were they all stupid?" So nowadays, it is, oh damn, this is totally a satire, a parody of.
It's meant to be a satire parody, but it ends up being more like a fucking advertise.
Really? Who says that? I don't see those people.
There are a lot of people that'll tell you that the movie, despite obviously trying to be like a criticism / satire of the fascism or whatever, a lot of people will tell you no, it just makes it look cool. It just makes it look cool.
Really?
But there's been some similar discussion with Helldivers as well, where you've got people being like, "Ha ha ha! Don't you understand? It's meant to be a satire." And then the response to that is basically, "Yeah, we understand it's meant to be a satire, but we're trying to have fun here, okay? We're having fun,
Those are two
right?"
different things, right? Knowing that it is a satire and having fun with it, and saying it backfired. I don't really understand you.
Well, it backfired because, from what I understand from the interviews of the director, his intent was he was trying to like satire the fascism and make the fascism seem like a bad thing, right? Covertly, right? Like, oh, the humans are the bad guys, the bugs are supposed to be sympathetic or whatever, right? But that's not what happened. So from a directorial intent standpoint, right? And I'd have to look back into it again because I haven't looked into it. Last time I looked into it was like a number of years ago, right? Like, from what I understood, like the director's intent didn't match the final product.
All right, this
at
is
all.
I've read or seen or heard something not that too long ago, and that is that he was disappointed at some New York Times in review in particular, but he was I didn't hear anything because there
I'd have to look into it. I don't have enough.
I
don't
know
have enough
of
to
the
debate
funny
it.
thing, of course, that Paul Verhoeven is Dutch, and the one review that is, praising the movie Into the Sky for his clever satire of fascism and all that, what is Dutch. The Dutch review says, "Oh damn, this is a really clever satire of fascism and the dangers of
damn.
propaganda. Good movie, Paul Verhoeven." And the
Yeah.
Americans was like, "I don't get this. Is it fascist or not?"
I don't know. I'd have to look more into the history around it, but I guess this is kind of getting a bit far away from talking
Anyway,
about
Helldivers is a good game.
It's tangentially related because there has been a lot of drama about snooty big brain people trying to be like, haha, Helldivers is totally a parody. Why are you? Well, it's a satire. Why are you? Because there was some Twitter account that posted some meme. I think I showed you that meme, right? Where the guy's like, you have to understand, you're not meant to actually be fascist or whatever. And people are like, yeah, dude, we fucking get it. Stop being a cunt. Let people have fun, right? We're just having fun here when we're in the lobby in the VC being like, democracy, yeah, let's go, yeah, kill the bugs, right?
Yeah,
doing
but
all that fun stuff.
the first part is what everybody knows. The second part is what annoying people do. So
But anyhow, how have you been finding it? You like the game? You having a good time?
I'm having a good time. There's a slight problem that the developers have at the moment is that there are way more players than they ever expected.
Yeah, their servers are getting fucked. Yeah,
No,
I've
there's
heard.
a different problem, Nretsew.
Oh,
A
yeah.
narrative gameplay problem. In that, do you know how Helldivers work as a?
Oh yeah, because there's too many people and they can't. They have to adjust the fucking invasions. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yes. So
Oh no.
So, all right, for the people who will watch this for now or ever sometime in the future, Planet is owned by Super Earth or the fascist insects or the communist robots. How bugs are fascists? You have to ask the citizens of Super Earth, but that's how it is. Because Super Earth isn't fascist at all. It's insects are fascists. Trust me. So the fascist insects have taken over a planet. Citizens, Helldivers of Super Earth, go there and restore democracy from the fascist insects, from the fascist bugs, and then you throw 1,000 lives onto it in the name of democracy, in the name of managed democracy to get oil from it, and then you spread democracy to it. Yeah, that planet has health in a sense, and recharges that health in the sense of, the enemy is still making more insects there, reproducing them in hives and whatnot.
Right.
They planned on having like 100,000 people playing at the same time. So then you go, all right, if 100,000 people are playing at the same time, and you have like 8 planets to play on at any given time, then it kind of divides in this way and that way, etc., etc. If you have 100,000 people playing at the same time, oh damn! Every objective every planet that we allow people to play on is taken over very fast. If we say, "Hey players, Super Earth has given out the order, capture that planet," then that planet is taken over before the end of the day. So the issue is, like you guessed, how do you balance Helldivers, Super Earth orders you hereby to defend this planet? How do you make that fun for a whole week?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you prevent players from one
absolutely ruffle stomping the entire
how
fucking
do you
map?
prevent players from immediately capturing the planet right the minute the order is announced? And 2, how do you prevent players from getting very frustrated that there is zero progress?
Yeah, it's a very, very tightrope to walk.
So yeah, that's the kind of the issue right now. Well, it's kind of a learning curve for everybody involved. Are we as the players supposed to ignore the order for a while, just have our own fun and jump in at the last minute to save the day? Or are the developers having to introduce new mechanics that they didn't expect, like thresholds or something? That you capture 20% and then you have to break through somehow, and then you can go to
there's
do
like
the
some
rest.
there's like a difficulty spike almost, where like when you get to a certain percentage, it's like you have to beat the boss or whatever, like, or the big higher difficulty wave or something that's super difficult.
Yeah, like the planet is 100% in the hands of the in the hands of the robots. Then you capture 20%, and now the robots have the robots are fighting back. The planet now has a recharge time of 10% every 6 hours. You now have to overcome that recharge rate. You have to overcome that wave, and then when that difficulty wave passes, then you can go back, capture another 20% at your normal rate.
It is interesting.
This is just an idea.
Yeah, it does sound interesting as a concept. So yeah. So you've been having fun with that.
I'm having
I've been
fun.
considering picking it up but yeah, I'm still trying to save money, so kind of want to hold off on that for a bit, maybe.
Oh yeah,
See
no,
how we go.
I did my taxes today in Nretsew.
Oh, lovely! Your government sanctioned theft happened.
No, I'm getting 6,000 euros.
Oh, based
Yeah, buying a
stuff.
house gets a lot of benefits, also in
Yeah,
taxes. Very
based home.
all right. Very boring for everybody except me and people who are interested in it. Nretsew, there's a fun tax benefit that is used by the rich here.
Oh yeah.
Nretsew, if you're paid thousand, you're getting tens of thousands of euros a month in salary.
Right. Yeah.
Government sees that you make a lot of money and is going to tax it a lot. Nretsew, you have bought a house, and that the interest on the house you can deduct from the tax you pay on your salary.
Okay. So what you're
So,
telling me is you're not only a based homeowner, but now you're doing the based rich person avoid paying more taxes stuff as well. You're
well, Nretsew,
slowly
that's the thing,
your
right?
metamorphosis into the most based man alive is slowly continuing.
So no, Nretsew, this is the sneaky part, right? I am but a small time homeowner. My meager interest rates deductible on my meager salary isn't enough to make an impact in my life. But Nretsew, imagine that you make tens of thousands of euros a month. Hundreds
Tens
of
of
thousands.
millions, a gazillion $1 million dollarinos, yeah.
But the government sees that's a lot of money, so they're going to take half of it. Half of all your salary goes to the government. That won't do. And let's see what you have to do is buy 20 houses at a very high interest rate.
Yeah.
Then you don't pay any taxes on your salary, and so you get to keep all the money from your salary, and you get 20 houses. That's the rich taxes trick going on over here.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff. But
All
yeah,
right.
6,000 euros in the bag, and I still have 1,000 euros to pay in,
Yeah,
sewage
and
taxes.
as Samu says, I'm definitely waiting for the sex mods.
I don't
even know. Well, how would you even have sex mods in fucking hell? Would it be like the robots and the insects having sex with you or something? Like you die.
That would be just
They implant their eggs.
ripping,
They implant their eggs into you or something. I don't know. But anyway, I think that's about it. I don't think we have anything else to really talk about, do we?
No, I did taxes, and it was. It's I don't know.
You can tell we're running out of shit to talk about if you're talking about your taxes.
No, it's kind of fun because it only takes 5 minutes, and then I get 6,000 euros. I don't know how taxes work over there on the other side. Of the
most
world.
of my shit's automatic. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's the same over here. I just says yes, you're right, government.
It's automatic.
Oh yeah, government. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that's also right. Oh yeah, that's
like all of my deductions happen automatically from my pay, right? So
yeah.
It's all done. It's all done before I even get my money, so I don't have to worry about did I pay the right amount to the government or not? Percentage of income, whatever. Nah, it's just all handled automatically. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's. I'm just saying this because I hear a lot of the trauma that the Americans have with paying taxes.
The Americans, they have to there's all this fucking nonsense about that, and I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Why can't you just deduct it automatically from the pay? Like, what the fuck? What do you mean you don't do that? What do you mean? But anyway,
I feel I click on yes, I am that person, and says, hey, Mr. Ellie, you have. You have 10,000 euros in your savings account. Yeah. It says, "Hey, that's right, government that I had."
Yeah, and, good boy, government. Yeah, good.
All right, yes, I bought a house on that date. Oh, you also know that. All right, Oh yeah, that's how much I loaned. Yes, that's true government. Oh yes.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have I don't have a dark government. No, no. So, everything is correct, government.
There you go.
Give me money.
Problems. Give me money. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good
All
stuff.
right. End of stream, I guess. We'll
Yeah.
be catching everyone next time. Next week we're probably going to be doing possibly a localizer video next week if all things go well. We've got some localization videos that I'm very keen to watch. So that's a little teaser for next week. Very good teaser.
Mm-hmm.
So
Also, Nretsew, we have to answer
Mhm.
Samu's question because we didn't.
Which one was it? Was it what the one about sex mods? Is that
No, before.
Is that
So the thing we use to synchronize our YouTube video watching.
Oh, yeah. We've been using we just do watch together. Yeah.
That's the link.
Yeah. We could theoretically use Discord share to do it, but it's probably
It would be a pain to capture.
Yeah, we've been doing it via that for so long. It's just easier, and Ali's already got it set up in OBS, so it's just just works out easier to just use that. So yeah, that's what we've been using for pretty much forever, really.
Yes.
Pretty much since the beginning. But yeah, so now that's out the way, let's call it quits for today, and we'll catch you all next time.
Later.
Bye.